Hey, what's up, fam? I'm not going to do no introduction today. Y'all know what it is. Happy Hump Day. Sorry that I'm late. I apologize in advance for my tardiness. I do not like to be tardy, so please forgive me. I know probably nobody's waiting right now, nobody's watching, but hopefully as you get the notification, you'll start trickling in. So I'm just going to talk for a few minutes before I get started on the broadcast, or I should say get started on the topic that I wanted to speak about today on the broadcast. Before we get started, as usual, please check the links below in the description field of the video. There's links to reports, information, books, all sorts of things you need to help you get started and get up on your ADOS advocacy. It's a public service for me, and I'm glad to offer that information and make it available to all of us. Also, too, if you want to support, well, there has not been work lately, and I'll get into why that is here shortly. But if you want to support my work, if you believe in what it is that I'm doing, there are, of course, links there for various methods and means of support. Primarily, I'd like for you to use Patreon. Again, I'm asking you to put $5 on it, but even $1 a month is perfect. No stress, no fuss, no muss. Just support, and definitely appreciate it. So let me talk a little bit before I go into the topic about why it is that I've been having issues broadcasting lately. So many of you know that that I've been dealing with some health issues, but I haven't really gone into detail. First of all, because, well, let's be honest, I share pretty much everything, right? So I sometimes feel like that I have to have some things that are mine, and uh, things like my health and things like that. I usually try to keep to myself, right? But when it starts to affect things that I find important and people I find important, it is best, in my opinion, to at least offer some degree of explanation as to what's going on. So about, I would say, about 2 years ago, around 2 years ago, I was working and I started noticing some pains in my back, right? And at first, I thought perhaps it might have been due to I had just gotten a new bed, here at the house, and I thought maybe my bed was just uncomfortable, that I was having some issues with that, and so, but the pain increased and would not go away. By the way, shout out to my beloved sister Christine Williams. Happy Hump Day to you, sister. It's good to see you, and welcome to the broadcast. Um, So I started noticing this pain that was ever present and wouldn't go away. And over time, this pain started to spread, right? So not just my back, my mid back, but shoulders and lower back, legs and arms, right? Neck, and the whole 9 yards. That was scary. I'll be the first one to tell you, fam, when you notice something like that, like me, I'm used to being a hale, whole, and hearty individual. So when something like that comes on you, you get spooked. I'm just keeping it a buck, right? That was scary to kind of watch the progression of that. And so pretty soon, I'm sitting here with my family, chilling. By the way, fam, you know the rules. If you're here, let me know you're here, right? If you come in the house, knock on the door, let me know you're here, right? You don't have to participate, but let me shout you out. I would start experiencing what I can only describe as spasms, muscle spasms, where my muscles are doing this. And at first, it was just in my back and my neck, and things like that, right? But pretty soon, I've got spasms going all up my arms and down my legs and feet. Agent Smith's in the house. What's up, fam? It's good to see you. Welcome to the broadcast. And sorry, fam, that I'm late. So now I've got these full body spasms along with this general non-specific pain going on. Now, family, I always preach self-care, okay? Y'all know that, right? So immediately upon the onset of said symptoms, your man Mark Black has been going to the doctor, okay? I've been poked, prodded, scanned, manipulated. The only thing they haven't done to me, and there's no reason or call for them to do so, is some type of surgery. You feel me? I've also experienced fatigue that is crazy, fam. I don't even know how to describe it. I'll be up, watching a video, like a YouTube video, or, doing something. And then the next thing I know, 3 hours have passed because I passed out and fell asleep. If you guys want to know why I was late today, I'm keeping it a buck. I slept. And I didn't even know I had slept. Right? I woke up and it was, 4:52 my time, when I always am scheduled at 4:30. Right? You guys know me. I'm prompt. I usually have the broadcast going like at 4:25 to give you all time to show up, so on and so forth. Now, I know what many of you who might be watching this video or who watch it later are asking. What's the issue, Brother Black? What's the diagnosis? This is the worst part. I don't know. I've got a great doctor. My doctor, she's an amazing doctor. She has done everything that I could reasonably expect the doctor to do, given what symptoms and things that I present to her, right? Brother Leroy's in the house. Shout out to you, B1, all day, fam. Happy Hump Day to you and welcome to the broadcast. But she and I have not been able to come to a point where I've got a diagnosis. So, yeah, Christine, and I know me, right? I tend to push a little hard, right? So I thought that maybe I was just going too hard. So I made some time to take time to just not do nothing, to just rest. But Christine, this isn't that. I can spend a whole day sitting on my butt, laying on my back, and I will collapse in a heap after a while and be out for 2 hours, an hour, 20 minutes. It depends. And there's no narcolepsy, right? I've been tested for that to make sure that I'm not just randomly falling asleep. It's not that. I just get fatigued. Like, fam, let me try to describe this to you. Right now, I'm clear-headed. Idris, peace to you, and welcome to the broadcast. Happy Hump Day. I'll be sitting here doing the broadcast or whatever the case may be. I feel clear-headed. I feel perfectly fine. Most times after a broadcast, I'll be up for about maybe 30 minutes, and then a fatigue will hit me where I literally have to sit down. And this is just doing a broadcast. I'm gonna admit to some embarrassment, because I'm letting you guys in on kind of some behind the scenes things about Mark Black, how I operate, what I do, and so on and so forth, right? But I need you guys to understand that it's quite a sacrifice sometimes for me to come on and do what I do and say what I say. That puts no burden or no onus upon you, okay? But I want to let you know. Toolbox, hey fam, it's good to see you. Yeah, I know if you've been wondering if I'm okay, and I appreciate the concern. I've gotten a lot of people reach out to me, a lot of care and concern, and I can't thank you guys enough for opening your hearts, reaching out to a brother, or, just checking up on a brother. Know this, fam. I'm not dying, as far as I can tell, no faster than the rest of you, right? So don't worry about that. However, I have this undiagnosed, non-specific muscle problem slash fatigue issue. My doctor is leaning towards some sort of chronic fatigue diagnosis, but that's more of a diagnosis of elimination as opposed to a direct diagnosis of an issue. And those of you who struggle with chronic issues know what it is that I'm referring to. Brother LaShawn, peace, fam. It's good to see you. Welcome to the broadcast and happy hump day to you. So that's where I'm at health-wise, fam. Now, to be fair, I still need to do what I need to do, right? So if I'm not super struggling, this, that, and the third, I need to continue to do my work, to do my broadcasts and things like that. But the last few weeks have just been exceptionally rough, right? And I'm not talking about rougher necessarily physically. It's been rough on me mentally. And this is not to say that I'm depressed or anything like that. But when the fatigue hits, it's like a fucking cloud, fam. I don't even know how to describe it to you. It's like it just kind of descends upon me, and I don't have the energy to just do any damn thing, man. I depend on my missus. I depend on Miss Denny. I depend on my son to take care of me. They're the ones who make sure. Oh, and my Patreon supporters and people who share during my broadcast. Y'all the ones that make sure Brother Black still gets the means to eat and stay alive at this point. I've tried applying for a few jobs, but how is it that I explain to people why I might need to have more time off than everybody else? Like, just the idea of trying to get a job to help my family out and stuff like that depresses the shit out of me sometimes, fam. Because I want to do. Like, in my head, mentally, I'm there. I want to do, right? But my body's not letting me do what my mind wants to do. Toolbox, we could talk about it, fam. Because today's broadcast is sort of the pre-broadcast to the inaugural. You guys know what I mean. This is the broadcast that is going to herald our coming out party. On Friday, the 4th and the 5th, of this week, we are going to see the advent, the birth, the uprise. Matter of fact, many of you who normally would be watching this broadcast may already be in Kentucky right now, in Louisville, preparing for the inaugural, the very first ADOS, the American Descendants of Slavery Conference, hosted by our friends, our brothers and sisters, our esteemed colleagues in this evolution, this transformational moment, Sister Yvette Carnell, Brother Antonio Moore. It is also hosted at Simmons College with Dr. Kevin Cosby, who I respect and esteem highly. So let's talk about the different things that's going on and what we would like to see come from the inaugural, the very first, hopefully the first of many ADOS conferences, right? Now, I have 3 bullet points, and then I'm going to open up the phones and let y'all ask me questions. We can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about, right? I'm just going to open it up today. That's all right, Black man. I'm here late too, fam. So you right on time. By the way, I hadn't done my usual. Let me go and shout everybody out. Agent Smith is in the house. Sister Christine Beloved is in the house. Leroy Green is in the house. Idris Abdul Mateen is in the house. Toolbox is in the house. LaShawn is in the house. And Black Man 903 is in the house. Welcome to my Angry Black Sheep. If you are too cowardly to pop your name up in chat and let this old carcass shout you out and show you some love, you probably in the wrong damn chat. All right? So just let us know you're here. All right. So the 3 things, because I will be actually watching it via the live stream. I bought tickets for the live stream of the ADOS conference. So I will be for 8 hours watching the ADOS conference right here so that I can be able to come and talk about it, to be able to discuss what's happened, what was said, and so on and so forth. So don't feel like you missed something, fam. My job, I'm on it. I will be watching the entirety of the live stream for the ADOS conference so that I can report to you the news, the information, the data that we get from that conference, all right? And I've already got that set aside. There's no interruptions. There's no mess. This is going to be on point. But the three things that I expect to see not begin at the ADOS conference, but I would like to see flesh out, because a lot of it has already happened. But the three things is, number one, organization. And what do I mean by that? Fam, I don't know if you know it, but we actually have quite a few very bright organizational minds who are our brothers and sisters, our fellow tribes people, who have organized various regional ADOS groups. We got ADOS Sacktown and ADOS LA. We got ADOS Houston. We got ADOS ATL. We got ADOS, we got ADOS Baltimore, Maryland, right? We got ADOS DC. We got ADOS New York. We got ADOS everywhere, right? So as many of us pick up this message, right, this hearkening to the honoring of the debt owed to our ancestors and to us by proxy as those who walk in their shoes, right? What's good, ADOS Reparation 2020? It's good to see you. Happy Hump Day and welcome to the broadcast. As we cleave to our lineage and understand our historical place, our rights and prerogatives that we demand in this country, right? We've organized. The cool man's in the house. Hey, the cool man, I'm trying to think of some names there. Get at me in my email, right? Because I'm going to reach out on Twitter to see about ADOS DC, and I'm going to hook you up with them. I know I've seen them around. I don't know how large of a group they are, the cool man, but I will put you on with anybody I can put you on with ADOS DC. But remember, the cool man, what I'm going to tell you, right? By the way, welcome to the broadcast. Happy Hump Day to you. Don't wait for a savior, fam. Be ADOS DC. If I can't get you the information, I should be able to, but if I can't get you the information, you start ADOS DC, right? Peace, by the way, to John Anderson. Welcome to the broadcast. A happy Hump Day to you, right? I want to see, however, at this inaugural conference, those various citywide and regional groups get together and organize amongst themselves more deeply. Yvette always says that we have specific local issues that we need to organize as ADOS to address. And she's absolutely right. How my brothers and sisters are having to live in Houston is different than how ADOS or ADOS folk having to live in the Pacific Northwest here in Seattle, which is different than how ADOS folk got to live in B-more, right? So our local issues, we do need to organize around, get together, and address. But ultimately, fam, ultimately, that organization has to reach beyond its borders. The one thing that this government and this whole nation, everybody in it, has feared is that we will start looking beyond our narcissism of small differences. And we will start to look to what we hold in common and thereby link up across the board, across the whole of the continental United States, Hawaii, and Alaska. That is the greatest fear of everybody in the United States. Fam, I'm not being hyperbolic here when I say this. If you look at the propaganda that serves as our media, right? I'm not talking about the new black media such as myself, Tariq, Jason Black, Yvette and Tone, so on and so on. No, I'm not talking about them. Brother, what happened to Common Sense? Love him to death, right? Brother Travis and Black Dollars University. I'm not talking about them. No, I'm talking about the pale stream media. I'm talking about the old moribund black media. If you look at how they've operated, they've consistently worked to break us up into different groups. Black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party. Who says that? Nobody says that about white women. Nobody's going to say that shit about gay people. No. But they try as best they're able to keep us divided, to keep us arguing over things that, yes, we have differences. We have differences in lifestyle, differences in religious views, differences in social economic strata, and so on and so forth, just like every other American. The problem is that every other American can unite in their one goal, and that is to keep us on the bottom. So it is, if we're going to have any effect, fam, we need to organize to get ourselves the hell off the bottom. By the way, shout out to my brother, beloved Midtown Pookie, and brother Albert Bird, my beloved brother Albert. Peace to you, fam. Happy Hump Day to you, and welcome to the broadcast. At the inaugural, at this conference on the 4th and the 5th in Louisville, it is our opportunity to shake America by the throat by doing the one thing it has worked overtime to ensure that we do not do. And that is link up, organize, and cleave to each other. Darker Visions in the house, fam. Greetings and peace to you. Welcome to the broadcast. Exactly, Christine. They got tools to keep us divided constantly. Do we have issues that we need to address in-house? Of course we do. We got buck dancers and bedwitching and sellouting and all of that. We've got coons of both Republican and Democratic stripe. We've got everybody, trying to support crazy stuff that don't match our thought processes and match our families. Thank you for the love, Midtown. I appreciate the super chat. We have all those things. And should we have conversations about them? Hell yeah. Right? But at the end of the day, it's ADOS. ADOS, like ADOS Reparation 2020 said in the chat, it's ADOS versus everybody else. When it comes to us securing the payment of the debt that is owed to our ancestors and thus us, as those of us who walk in their shoes, Sister Alma, peace, beloved. Yes, I'm as well as can be. I explained a little bit prior in the broadcast, so I'm not going to go through it again, but I would encourage you to watch the first few minutes of the broadcast where I explain my absence, right? I don't want you to stress. I don't want you to worry. I am here, okay? But it is us over everybody, over everything. And that is not a call for us to be reverse supremacists. What that is a call for us to claim our rightful position as one of the founding citizens of what constitutes the body politic of America. We made America, and no one else gets to claim the credit for that. No one else gets to jump in front of us in line. We are America in its most realist and truest sense. When you talk about those who bear the vision of America, that's us. Nobody else in this country gives a damn about the ideals and principles that all men are created equal with inalienable rights given to them by God, the Creator. That's us. Nobody else holds up the ideals of the Constitution that demands that we have the right to free speech and assembly and redress for grievances. No one else upholds the right for us to be protected in our homes and persons from illegal searches and seizures of our goods like we do. Nobody else upholds the rights enshrined in the Bill of Rights and the amendments to the Constitution like we do. That's us. The only right you see the rest of America uphold is the right to own firearms. The one right I wish we would uphold more. We built America. ADOS, tell them. ADOS built America. We freed America. We keep America free. You do realize, fam, that all you need to do as ADOS to grind America to a halt is simply stop working for her. I'm not kidding you. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to quit your job, get out the plantation. I'm not, Moist Twatkins, all right? That's not me. I'm not telling you to do none of that. I want you to understand, though, your individual, familial, community, and ultimately the tribal power in which you wield, fam. This inaugural ADOS conference, sorry about that, fam. This inaugural ADOS conference is our coming out publicly and clearly in numbers to establish that we are here to stay. You will not dislodge us. You cannot replace us. You literally cannot replace us. They have tried. Good luck replacing us with immigrants, whether from the continent or from the diaspora or from non-black countries. Good luck trying to replace us. You can't do it. Those idiots in Charlottesville marched with their little tiki torches talking about you will not replace us and this, that, and the third. Fam, I warn you in advance, this one may get demonetized because I'm going to tell nothing but the unvarnished truth to us today. Not that I never lie, but I'm not putting spin on anything, right? I'm going to speak truth to power today. So if you believe in what it is I'm doing, please support me via Super Chat or hit the link for my Patreon. But fam, white folks, it was never about them. The only way they're going to prosper as a nation ultimately is if we prosper. It's as simple as that. And believe it or not, more and more smart white folks is waking up to that. I read a Twitter thread where this white person talked about that they hadn't actually understood the data behind it, right? But it turns out that no Democratic president in the United States of America has received the majority of the white vote since 1976. Let me repeat that for you again. No Democratic president since 1976 has received the majority of our fellow white citizens' votes for president. Every single Democratic president, every single one that we've had. Let's see, since 76, who do we have? We had Carter, and then we had Clinton, right? We had Clinton for 2 terms. We had Shrub, then we had Snowbama, right? So those presidents that were elected who were Democratic presidents, AUS Reparations says, so glad you are back, fam. We'll be carrying your spirit in Louisville. I appreciate that. Take me with you, fam. Tanzania, I'm not, listen, take me with you. I will be watching via the live stream so that I can be able to share with our family who wasn't able to make it. But my heart is with you. Take me with you, fam. Because I'm there with you. If you're there, I'm there with you. So this white person said that they had not realized that every Democratic presidential candidate that's been elected was elected on one group's vote, on the ADOS vote. The Black ADOS vote, the foundational Black American vote, has put every single Democratic president into power that has ever been. Do you understand where I'm coming from, fam? Thank you, Sister Tanzania. I appreciate the love through this via the Super Chat. You are definitely my heart, and I appreciate your love and support always. By the way, let me shout out to my esteemed family, Pat Asar B1, fam. I see you. And I get you on the... I'm going to open up the lines, and I'm going to let y'all talk. We're going to talk about the news cycle. We're going to talk about Amber Geiger, but I'm just sharing 3 quick things that I want to see happen at the inaugural ADOS conference, right? And no, AOL, I don't think that, because we are not yet as enough of a threat to try to overshadow the conference. Just keeping it a buck. Let's not get into no conspiracy theory stuff. You feel me? But ADOS reparation 2020 is right. ADOS is the only reason that there is still a Democratic Party left. Why? Because everybody, the majority of white Americans are fully on board with white supremacy. And that today comes in the form of a Republican. For the most part. Let's just keep it a buck. If you want the party of naked, fuck niggaism, right? Them's your Republicans. They have no problem with white supremacy, with racism, and so on and so forth. They made that clear. So if you support that, it only makes sense to vote Republican. That's voting your interests. But you have a minority and a decreasing minority of whites at that are voting for the Democratic candidate. Every single Democratic presidential candidate that has gotten into power, you put them there, ADOS. Exactly, Albert. I like my racists right up front where I can see them. I ain't got no problem with the Republicans. Everybody say, don't vote Republican, they racist. Democrats are racist. So what? At least if Republicans, I know what the fuck I'm getting with my racism. I might actually get some policies that I support with my racism. They may say, fuck you, nigger. Now, let me ask you about this thing you feel about, like healthcare for the, or healthcare for the unborn, or something like that, right? At least I know that if I get my white supremacist in front of me, he'll be like, damn you black people. But what do you think about X, Y, and Z? Like, they actually want to have a goddamn conversation. The Democrats come dancing in front of me talking about, look at me, I got high sauce. Hey, I'm hugging Cardi B. See, I'm down with you guys. While stabbing me in the fucking back once I give them power. No, the Democrats are no better than the Republicans. And in a lot of ways, they're worse. This inaugural ADOS conference, though, fam, to get back to the topic, is our opportunity for us to meet our tribes people from all over this country, but not just to confab and hopefully make some marriages and some lifetime connections and things like that, but to actually start organizing across the nation, for us to start exchanging information, us to start exchanging numbers and contacts, us to say, fam, when you're in my town, mi casa es su casa, and vice versa. For us to start establishing that core of advocacy that will not be broken by any circumstance, by any means, no matter what, no matter how dastardly they try to come at us, no matter how much propaganda. This organization that we are building at this inaugural conference cannot be broken if we do this right. So what I'm hoping to see on the 4th and the 5th there in Louisville is the linkage together of multiple disparate groups of my tribe with renewed commitments to organize not just on behalf of their local issues, but on behalf of each other's issues across the board nationally. That's number one. Number two, I expect at the the inaugural ADOS conference to see at least the initiation of some sort of organized political action committee. Now, am I going to sit here and say that Tone and Yvette have the time to run a pack? Maybe not. But I can guarantee you, fam, that at some point, at some particular point, politically speaking, we're going to have to put some skin in the game. We're going to have to pony up some dough. And the only way we're going to be able to do that effectively, especially in light of our wealth position here in the United States of America, is by using a PAC, a political action committee, where we can dribble in our donations, fam, our $1, $2, $5. but do this consistently and watch that money come together and snowball and be able to start to buy the advocacy that we demand in our political system. One thing that you can be assured of, fam, in this country, as the hyper-capitalist bastion of go-get-itism that exists on the planet Earth, that this government is the best money that people with money, or best government that people with money can buy. We have the government that you can buy. Everybody is for sale. Damn all their talk of morals, ethics. If you are a politician, you have a for sale sign on your ass. Every single one of you. You go into it with the best of intentions, but the system operates to make you for sale. The term political whore is an oxymoron, because politicians are whores and our votes are for sale. Their advocacy is for sale. So I say, fam, that rather than argue with reality, like our brother Tone talks about all the time, being grounded in the data, that's the data. That's the information. Our political system is for sale. Politicians are to be bought and sold. So in this fine auction of human beings with political power, it is time for ADOS to have our hand in the race. Fam, if you bring $10 million to a senatorial campaign, you own that senator. I don't give a damn what anybody says. That senator could be from the heart of Mississippi and white as alabaster. You walk into his office with 4 or 5 well-dressed, well-spoken ADOS advocates and a check for $10 million, and you can get from that senator whatever it is the hell you want. If you want that senator to get on TV and dance and sing for you, he will, or she will. Because political whores ain't about sexism. Males and females can be bought. Fam, I hope to see at least the initiation or the push for an actual political action committee at this inaugural ADOS conference. It is truly time for that next step in our evolution. Like, this is not to say that we can't continue to advocate the way we have been via social media, YouTube, in person, boots on the ground, etc. We have and we should. There are too many ADOS people out there who's on some denial shit, who don't understand that all we're saying as ADOS is that we share a specific and unique lineage, heritage, and justice claim, and it's time to come and cleave to that above everything else. These simple-minded ADOS folk who still questioning the truth of reality. So we've got a lot of freaking work to do. And where it's possible, engage with possible allies, vetting them, demanding to know what it is they're going to bring to the table for us before we give any advocacy or allyship with them. But yes, allies are a part of this thing too. But the next step politically, fam, is to organize and say a political action committee. We've already established our slogans. No black agenda, no vote. Right? Down with the Democrats in 2020. Let it all burn. Right? Us first or nobody. We've established our political strength. We've taken presidential candidates down, fam, and it is a beautiful thing to see. Kamala's done. Bernard might be done. I'm quite certain that what's his face? Robert O'Rourke, done. because ADOS came to them and said, cut the check. And they go, Tulsi Gabbard, done. Do you understand, fam? Your advocacy has already had an effect on our political system. Think about the effects that we will have after a conference establishing our cleaving, the conference are coming out, the public acknowledgement of our tribe, our tribal affiliation, our ethnic group, our public coming out party. And on that public coming out party, we announced the inauguration of America's first all-black ADOS PAC with one goal in mind: the remediation, the restoration, and the repair of the American descendants of slavery, full stop. Can you imagine how newsworthy that would be? Can you imagine how historical that would be? We've already shaken up the world. Tab Liquor, I feel you, right? You said, I'm iffy your allies now that we getting on code. Yes, absolutely. No, trust me. You know me. I checks IDs. And it ain't about what you're saying. It's about what you're doing. If you see people who are claiming to be allies, yet you never hear them advocating, you never see them out there putting in work, I can tell you for simplicity, they're not allies. Fuck them. No. Allies' jobs is to show themselves to you, not you go looking for them. So Tab Liquor is right. By the way, welcome to the broadcast, fam. I see you. Happy Hump Day to you. No. Don't go chasing allies, fam. Let's not get caught in that trap. But if you see them, grab them. You see them out there doing the work, grab them, right? Because everybody else, fuck them. They're not allies. They talk, the liberals talk real well to us, fam. Let me digress a bit. I have had a hard on for these so-called liberals, right? And I finally understand what my brother MLK was feeling when he wrote that letter from a Birmingham jail, right? Because if you remember in that letter from the Birmingham jail, he excoriated the so-called liberal white folks of America. He said, my issue isn't with the Citizens Counselor or the Ku Klux Klanner. I understand them, right? My issue right now is with you. He said, the word wait rings in the ear of every Negro with a piercing familiarity, and the word wait has almost always meant never. And who is it that tells us to wait? Who is it that always tells us, your turn's coming, ADOS? You gotta hold on for just a second. We just need to get rid of Donald Trump. We just need to fix the climate. We just need to make sure the LGBTQIA plus people have their rights protected. We just need to make sure that we take care of the undocumented. Who is it that's always telling you to wait? The so-called liberals. The so-called progressive white folks. Fam, if you want to see behemoths, look no further than your so-called leftist white folks. You know, the so-called communists and democratic socialists. You know, the ones that other white people claim are like too left for them. You know, those white folks, they're the worst. The absolute worst. They want us to do everything. They want us to impeach. They want us to put a motherfucking man on Mars. They want us to do all this shit before we get done. Meanwhile, everybody is still eating. You got to understand something, fam. We get told by the Democrats that our issues need to be on the back burner, right? Van Jones, his sorry ass, had the nerve to tell us, yes, I know that black people have specific grievances and issues, but we need to sacrifice to get Donald Trump out. No, we don't. America put his ass in the office. If America wants him out, then let white folks in America vote him out. Let the Latinos vote him out. Booker's done too, right? Let the Asians vote his ass out. It is not my goddamn job, and it is not my tribe's job to come and pull the bacon out of the fire for everybody in America time and time and time and time again. Nope. If Trump is such an issue for America, then let them do the goddamn ground pounding to get his ass out. Because you know what? Trump don't bother me. Trump is literally 45, right? Donald J. Trump is literally no different from me than the other 44 presidents that came before him. So I have no burning desire to get his ass out of office. He has done nothing any worse or any egregious in any real way, substantive way against me and my tribe. So why should I have this burning need to sacrifice everything politically to see Donald Trump walk out of the White House? I could care not. But guess what? I'm tired of watching my goddamn community suffer. I'm tired of us bearing the taint of intergenerational poverty. I'm tired of us being a contagion to America's stolen largesse. I'm tired of the debt not being blown, not being paid. Take care of ADOS first, and we will help you save the world like we always do. Because Dave Chappelle is right. If America is going to be saved, if America has any salvation, it lies through Black Bottom. America's salvation comes through Black Street, through ADOS Alley. Until you do right by us, nothing America does is going to fucking prosper. Because we are America. Simple as that. Thank you for the digression, fam. I want to see at least the start of an ADOS super PAC, of us having 1 point of contribution to be able to affect massive change locally, regionally, and nationally. I get sick and tired of people telling us what we can't do. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand our wealth position. I understand the data. I know where we are. I know where we are. We do not have a heap and gob of wealth. I understand this, fam. But I am sick and tired of people trying to tell us what we can and cannot do. I actually did a broadcast, go back into my archives, where I talked about how we could organize a Black PAC, a Black super PAC, and the effects a Black super PAC could have, not just locally, regionally, but nationally. An ADOS super PAC could literally change the face of presidential politics moving forward. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Change the face of presidential politics moving forward. One Black super PAC. People have asked me to organize it. And the only reason why I haven't is because, I'll be honest, I want to see whether or not there's actually going to be support for it. Because I've organized and registered nonprofits before, and I've watched them burn from no support. But if it happens at this conference that our brother Tone and our sister Yvette announce the inauguration, the heralding of a Black political super PAC that is focused on the remediation, the restoration, and the repair of the American descendants of slavery, fam, it is a game changer unlike you have ever seen in your life. That will literally be us putting our pedal to the metal, putting boot to neck. Because we will then be in the political sphere buying up these political whores like everybody else. Like we had a garage sale. And the crazy part, fam, is it don't take billions of dollars for us to do it. Not even close. But it does take us willing to chip in, willing to sacrifice, willing to support for our interests. Damn the Democrats. Damn the Republicans. Support your interests. Support your voices. Support the people that are putting in the work that benefits you. I can tell you, I'm unemployed, sick. And if we start an ADOS super PAC, that thing will get my money faithfully every month. Every single month of its existence, there will be a check in there with Mark Black name on it. Why? Because that's not even support. That's an investment. That's not supporting my interests. That's investing in my future. My $5 contribution and your $5 contribution and ADOS Reparation 2020 contribution, Leroy Green contribution, them shits add up. They snowball. That's an investment in your political future. Wouldn't it be nice for Steve King to be sitting in his office and a group of our lawyers show up and say, Representative King, we'd like to have a sit down with you and have a discussion, and we brought a little something for the collection plate for you. Just to take a moment of your time to give you a little bug in your ear about a group of Americans who might deserve your support. It's time, family. It's time for us to step up how we're playing this political game. It is time for us to show our tribal affiliation, to show our connection via lineage and heritage politically by putting $5, $1, 10, 50, whatever, every month into a political action committee. It is the biggest investment that any of us could make. Wouldn't it be nice to have politicians in there talking real slick and clever, acting like they don't know who ADOS is, and our ADOS people show up and be like, hey, I wanted to talk to you about that recent news conference you had. You said some kind of, I would say disparaging things about the American descendants of slavery. You have an election coming up and your opponent is seeking funding. We don't necessarily have a problem with throwing some money their way unless we can have a reconciliation. We can have a meeting of the minds. Wouldn't that be nice to have those people there for us for a change? Because everybody else got them. Well, how do you think a minority like LGBTQIA plus people have been able to make such large political strides? Because I can guarantee you they're wealthy and they're not so wealthy among them pay PACs. They've got political advocacy and political action committees that they give money to, that pay lawyers, that pay representatives to go on Capitol Hill to push the legislation that they want. That is how the game is played. But Darker Vision said, and this is absolutely true, whenever somebody like ADOS tries to organize something like that, y'all want to count for every stinking penny. And I get it. Right? When you look at motherfuckers like Mark Morial and the Urban League, when you look at NAACP, I get why you feel suspicious. Because we've supported all of our old guard institutions. We've supported the lousy ass no good HBCUs. We've supported the Urban League. We've supported the NAACP and all of them. And what did they do when they finally got a chance to get in front of white folks' faces? They sold shares of stock and talked about how immigrants built America. They paid their administration and leaders almost $1 million a year of our money. What the fuck has Mark Morial done to warrant $900,000 a year in salary? What have you seen the Urban League accomplish where that man should be cashing those goddamn kind of checks? So I get your suspicion. But fam, look. At some point, At some point, we are going to need to organize together, and we're going to have to trust each other. We're going to have to pick a group of ADOS that we just trust to work in our interests. This doesn't mean we shouldn't demand transparency. This doesn't mean that we should not demand accountability. But what this does mean is we got to get past this once bitten, twice shy bullshit, fam. We got to. We have no other choice. By the way, shout out to my brother Chris from the SAC. Peace to you, fam. ADOS all day. Easy Axe. You ain't late, fam. You right on time. And you got to stop nitpicking them. You got to let them get the bread and just organize. And yes, people are going to have to eat. Sorry, but advocacy for you doesn't come for free. And you got to accept that. If you want to be a part of the advocacy so that you can get a piece of the advocacy pie, then be a part of the advocacy. Hell, all those people who say, y'all out here just talking about ADOS for money, why ain't you? So if brothers like Mark Black is out here only talking about political advocacy for my tribe for bread, fine. Then why don't you come out here and talk about it? If you think that I'm scamming the people or just out here preaching for donations or whatever the case may be, cool. I respect your opinion, brother or sister. So where the hell are you? Where's your voice? Where's your broadcast? Where's your stream? Freedom isn't free. Not under capitalism. Hell, not even under communism. Communists had to buy guns and pay for infrastructure and all that just like anybody else do. Freedom has a cost. You're going to either pay it in money, you're going to pay it in time, you're going to pay it in blood, but you're going to pay it in something. So you might as well get it out of your head that you can be able to easy street your way to freedom. To easy street your way to remediation, restoration, and repair. Not just for you, but for your fellow tribesmen. There is going to be a cost paid at every step. And I argue, fam, that a political action committee is an easy cost to bear. That's an easy price to pay. $5 a month for a PAC that sends people all over the country, puts food in their bellies, and have them working full time for my interest politically? Shit, that's an investment I can't wait to make. Hell, if I had to, I'd put Christmas on hold to make that happen. I'd be like, I'm sorry, y'all not getting nothing for Christmas this year. I gave $200 to the PAC. They going after Senator so-and-so, Congressperson so-and-so, and they also had sit down and talks with presidential candidate so-and-so. Sorry, that's where y'all Christmas went. Merry Christmas. It went to your future. Michi X is a dope sister, fam. I love her to pieces, and she's spot on right. I know that it may be too much for Sister Yvette and Tone to take on, right? There are teachers and our vision bearers and the ones who elucidate and help us to start seeing through this new lens called ADOS, right? It may be too much to ask themselves, to run and organize and maintain a political action committee. But we need to be seeing the seeds of that political action committee being planted at the inaugural ADOS conference. We need to see that, fam. We need to see that. Ibrahim, peace to you, fam. Happy Hump Day and welcome to the broadcast. The third thing and the last thing before I open up the phones, because I'm going to let y'all talk today. We're going to go until y'all get tired, right? The third thing that I want to talk about that I would like to see come from the ADOS conference this October 4th and October 5th is I would like to see the rebirth of radicalism among our people. Now, let me explain what it is that I mean. Radical And we've talked about this before, fam, on previous broadcasts. Radical means to go to the root, right? Radical comes from radix, the Latin word for root, like the root of a tree or the root of a plant, okay? When I say that I am hoping to see the rebirth of radicalism at the ADOS conference, I don't mean a bunch of raving nut jobs running around screaming ADOS, 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 ADOS. We already have plenty of those and we need more of them. No, I don't mean that. What I mean, fam, is I mean that I want to see the rebirth of us striking to the heart of every system in the United States of America. Politically, economically, financially, religiously, socially, entertaining, the legal system, everything. I want the rebirth of a group of ADOS who don't have time for the fluff, who don't like to dance and dawdle, who, when presented with topics, subjects, go straight to the heart of the matter. That is what radicalism means, right? We call our brothers and sisters, our ancestors back in the day, radicals, because that's what white folks called them. But what were they really? Well, many of them were, I would term, freedom fighters. They actually, in some cases, took up arms against the United States. I'm not going to argue for the rightness or wrongness of it. They ADOS, so I got their back, period. I don't care. I'm not going to belittle them or demean them because they may have done something or chosen a path of advocacy that I would not, or someone else would not have necessarily chose. Hell no. I'm not going to demonize Micah X Johnson. I'm not going to demonize, you know what I'm saying, Brother Long, Cosmo Septempera. I'm not going to demonize Christopher Dorner or anybody else. The wonder isn't that we had a Christopher Dorner or a Micah X or any of them. No, the wonder is we haven't had more of them, considering the circumstances under which we've been living here in America. When I say radical, though, fam, I mean in its strictest sense. That's right, he's asked rebirth of black radicalism at ADOS conference. That's what I want to see. I want to see the rebirth of black intellectualism that is not self-serving, that doesn't look to publish and so on and so forth just to look good to white folk, but a black intellectual core that looks to get the data so that the people can be grounded in it. I know that I might be asking a lot in this third ask, but I want to see the rebirth of radicalism at the ADOS conference. I want to see ADOS political advocates who cut through the fluff, who don't care about the dog whistles. Oh, you can't talk to him, he's racist. Or you can't work with them, they racist. I want to see the rebirth of radical political movers and shakers at the ADOS conference who say, no, America is racist. You're not going to get us with the dog whistles. I want to talk to who I need to talk to push forward this advocacy. I want to see those savvy ADOS financial radicals who come away from the conference inspired to show us ways to be able to husband our little resources and be able to marshal those little resources into big resources. I want us to get the radicals who cut through the bullshit, who cut through the red tape, who cut through the fluff. I want those social radicals who know how to reach and grab our people by their hearts and minds and remind them of their status as our tribesmen and get them in the fight too. I want to see at this conference you and I creating the seeds at the inaugural conference for what will constitute a new and empowered black radicalism unlike this country has ever seen. Not a radicalism that's there to be loud and proud and bold and bright as all outside. No, an advocacy that is there to cut through the bullshit and strike right at the heart of matters. We're going straight to the root of the tree. We don't want to talk to no middlemen. We're not here to debate America. America, the general populace of America, is a bunch of fucking middlemen. Our fight, right? Our discussion is guaranteed to us in the First Amendment to the Constitution. We are approaching our government as ADOS citizens for a specific redress of grievances. Everybody else are bystanders and middle people. We don't have nothing for them. Again, radical. Don't be out here debating white folks and this, that, and the third. Fuck them. I don't owe you shit. Okay, whatevs. I ain't talking to you. But I'm talking to the government that represents us all. And guess what? That government that represents us all does owe my people a debt. So you can say whatever the hell you like, Mr. Joe White Man. Doesn't bother me. I don't hate you for it. My family was immigrants from Europe. We didn't ever own slaves. Good on you. That's still not going to stop me from fighting for what I got to fight for, though. Have a nice day. You don't have to argue with them. You don't argue with hangers-on, bystanders, and middle people. You're after your government for a specific redress of grievances, which is the remediation, restoration, and repair of the American descendants of slavery. This ain't personal. This is business. Like Easy Axe said, this is business. Fam, we don't have to care if our fellow white citizens or fellow Asian citizens like us in our advocacy and what we're doing. I'll be damned if I pay you niggers anything. Fine, ain't nobody asking you for nothing. But your government's going to pay. My government's going to pay. Have a seat, Joe the Plumber. This ain't personal. This ain't got nothing to do about hating America. I don't hate America. I'm a veteran. I served this country. There's nobody more red, white, and blue than I am. My ancestors' bones are buried here for hundreds of years. How many white folks you know living around you can say that? This ain't personal. I want us to be renewed in our minds, our hearts, and our spirits from the refreshing information and inspiration that will come from our coming out party, our very first inaugural conference. I want us to come out with a renewed sense of radicalism, a sense of cutting through all the bullshit, setting aside the narcissism of small differences between us and our fellow tribes people, setting aside the debate and the wasting of time, effort, and energy with people who we don't have to have it with. I don't have to have a debate with anybody if you ain't in the government with your hands on the levers of government, the ones who could cut the checks. I don't have nothing to say to you. I don't hate you, but I don't have nothing to say to you because there is nothing I need to say to you. My fight, my discussion, my war, if you will, is with my own government because they ain't got no act right and they need to be brought to heel. Our government is running amok. You've had it your own way, United States, Uncle Sam. You've had it your own way for 400 years now, since 1619 to 2019. We're done letting you run amok, run astray. It is time for us, the most American of Americans, to bring you to heel. But first, you are going to do us. You are going to take care of us. And then you're going to take care of the rest of America. We'll see to it. Because the Democrats ain't wrong. The political power that is truly held by ADOS is immense if we only knew. We have put administrations into office, and we will again once they do us. You want climate change to become a major issue in the United States of America? Do right by the American descendants of slavery and watch the changes we're able to make in environmental laws. in greenhouse gas emissions. I'm from the hood and I lived next door to geniuses whose only burden was a burden of multi-generational stolen wealth and heritage that if they had access to would have accomplished great things for this country. Still can. But we ain't doing it until you do us. Till you do us first. We get our proper place in line, and everything else that America dreams about will fall into place. Because who dreams more for America than we do? How you going to say Latinos are dreamers? Motherfucker, my people been dreaming of America for 400 years. Nobody dreams harder than we do. At the ADOS conference, we need to be radical in our dreams. We need to cut right to the root, the heart. And we need to go after America's dreams with us in the pole position, right up front. That's what I want to see. That is what I want to see. Those three things from the ADOS conference. I want to see us organize across regional boundaries. I want us to organize nationally. I want us to look at the possibility, if not the actuality, of creating a black ADOS-oriented super PAC dedicated to the remediation, restoration, and repair of the American descendants of slavery. And last but not least, I want to see the rebirth of a true black radicalism, a true ADOS radicalism that gets past the fluff, the rhetoric, the bullshit weasel words and glittering generalities and cuts right to the heart of every matter in every area of human activity. That's what I hope to see come this Friday and Saturday at our ADOS conference there in Louisville, Kentucky. To all my brothers and sisters who are headed there now or who are already there, know that my heart is with you. You are speaking there and listening to people speak with my voice. Honor it. Honor it. You're on sacred ground when you step on Simmons College campus during that conference. Be mindful. Go there with the mindset to do work, to be the agent of power and change that we've been needing to see. Don't wait for a savior. Be our savior if you can be, because I'm sure going to work to be yours, right? And for those of us who were unable to make it to the conference, I have purchased a ticket for the live stream of the conference on the 4th. I will be watching from the beginning to the end. We will discuss it on our Sucker Free Saturday broadcast this Saturday at 4:30 as per usual. All right. So fam, I've said my piece. Thank you all for your patience. Forgive me again for having been late to the broadcast. I know it's late for some of you, but there's the call-in number. 425-296-1980 is your opportunity to speak. I know some people want to talk about the Amber Geiger verdict. I have my own opinions about it. There's some other stuff in the news cycle that you want to address. But if you want to talk about what you expect to see from the inaugural, the first annual ADOS conference, I'd like to hear that too. Right now, fam, we can always use some inspiration. So if you have something that you want to say in particular about that, 425-296-1980. Or if you have something else that you want to ask your brother about or you want to talk about, fam, jump in. It's your turn. Yeah, family, this ain't personal. Or at least, I should say no more personal than politics tends to be, because politics is personal. The personal is political. Isn't that what they tell us when they advocate for every social group under the sun? I know, fam, I know. Brother Cornel West and Mary Ann Williamson in the same room. God damn it. I'm telling you, I will be there next year. If I have to hitchhike to the motherfucking conference, I will be there next year. The only thing that stopped me this year was the move. Trust me, fam, I will be there for the next conference. And not because I'm going there as a fanboy. I got work to do. I got information to bring back. I got connections to make. By the way, all of you ADOS here in the Pacific Northwest, I know I got Tab Liquor 123 in Olympia. I know I've got a few other people that watch in the Pacific Northwest. Y'all need to be hitting me up via email. My email's on the back end of my channel. You need to hit me up at the Facebook group or something. Y'all need to hit me up. We have got to start. There's only a few of us up here. I know that, right? But it is time for ADOS Pac Northwest to be the most loud, bold, and brash ADOS group of them all. A little friendly competition ain't hurt nobody. See, ADOS people up here in the Pacific Northwest barely make up 4 to 5% of the population because of the historic nature of Washington State and Oregon. It actually used to be illegal for ADOS people up here to live here. It used to be illegal for you to live in the state. In Oregon, it was in the Constitution that if you were ADOS, you could not live here. And even now, Portland and that environment down there, Vancouver, Washington, Portland, and all of that is one of the most racist areas in Washington State and in Northern Oregon. There was a black man who was killed recently down there by Vancouver PD. Right? But Chris is right. Our small numbers up here means that we don't have to go in for the large group bullshit. We can have a meeting right here. Touch base with me, fam. I will host a meeting right here at my house. Mark Black will cook you dinner, and we will sit down, and the Pac Northwest is about to get in, ADOS style. Our voice has been relatively silent, fam. But it's time for us to get it in. So I'm issuing a challenge to my people in the Pac Northwest, Idaho, if you in Boise, if you in Spokane, if you in Seattle, if you in Tacoma, if you in Portland, if you in Salem, I need to be hearing from you. If you in Coeur d'Alene, and for God's sake, what the hell would you be doing in Coeur d'Alene? But if your black ass is in Coeur d'Alene, I need to be hearing from you. You feel me? This is a challenge to my Pac Northwest ADOS brothers and sisters. It's time for us to organize. We got to start doing work up here. See, we're not the bastion, the home of the so-called liberal white folks. So our voices up here in the Pacific Northwest could have a disproportionately outside or over large effect, right? An outsized effect. Because we're here where all the white folks claim to be liberal as all get out. So when we start presenting the data in their faces, when we start showing up at their meetings, at their caucus meetings, the Dems and the Repubs here, when we start coming at them with the data and the information and start putting cameras in their faces, fam, we can shake up the entire Pacific Northwest. We can show that their so-called liberality is nothing more than a smokescreen for veiled soft racism. We can inspire our people across the nation for the work that we do up here with these white folks and other ethnic groups up here in Washington State, Oregon, Idaho, Montana. So there's a challenge to you. If you watch this broadcast and you're in the Pac Northwest area specifically, but if you're in the Northwest generally, I need to be hearing from you. 425-296-1980, fam. I can't believe I haven't had a call. I'm a little shocked. I surely expected the phone would be blowing up off the hook right there. Remember, fam, one at a time. First come, first serve. Yeah, you know what? I admire the hell out of what Chris and Sacktown has done. ADOS Sacramento, right from the beginning, has been upfront with organization. They are moving down in Sacktown, fam. Moving in Sacktown. Oh, here we go. Calling from 323. It's your man Mark Black. What's your name? Where you calling from? And what's on your mind?
Yes, brother Black. This is Chad from LA, or ADOS Reparations
Woo!
2020 in the chat.
That's right, Chad.
Fam.
How you doing, fam? It's good to hear from you.
I'm good, fam. So you always delivering the message that I need right on time when I need it, right?
That's
So
right,
in the
bruh.
morning, 10 a.m. I'm on a flight to Louisville.
Yes,
Remember,
sir.
I'm taking my oldest, my 13-year-old daughter with me. We're gonna carry this message that you just delivered straight to Kentucky, brother.
Carry
I'm
my
coming from
love with
LA,
you,
so
man. Carry my love with you. Be safe. Y'all have a safe
yes,
flight, a great trip. Carry my heart with you. But go ahead, fam. Speak what's on your
absolutely,
mind.
absolutely. No, fam. So when you talk about a black super PAC, you are 1,000% on point. That is how we gotta move. We gotta
Exactly.
move with money with these politicians because, like you say, they are whores.
They
They're
all
all for
whores.
sale. So we have to move with money to make them move the way we need them to move. Because ADOS, we have a specific and unique agenda that needs to be addressed. And people have to realize that, like you said, it's not personal. This is business at this point.
This is just
400 years of
business.
business is coming. It's coming due. You know what I'm saying?
We
So
not, hey, look, fam, what do
removing
I say? We not presenting the receipts. We presenting the invoice for services
invoices,
rendered.
invoices, exactly. Because right now I work for a $1 billion company, right? A $1 billion company internationally. You would know the name if I said it right now, but I'm not going to do that. But in any event, I see the invoices, and that's exactly what ADOS is bringing to the table.
Yes,
We
sir.
bring in not billions, but trillions of dollars of invoices
Thank
for
you.
what is owed. And so what I loved about your message tonight, Brother Black, is that it does need to be a rebirth of black radicalism. You
Yes.
you nailed that because cutting through all of these arguments that have no basis, they have no foundation except in white supremacy. That's the only way. That's the only rationale for a lot of the pushback that we hear against ADOS and our reparations push. It's only in
Exactly.
white
It's
supremacy.
only white
That's all
supremacy.
you're trying to. That's the only rationale and the only thing you're trying to support with a lot of what we hear, right? Like, oh, y'all are this, y'all bots, right? Like, it's all ridiculous.
Yep.
So black radicalism and cutting through all of that and saying, no, my grievance isn't with you, it's with the government, your
Facts.
government and my
In
government.
my
And it
government,
was all,
exactly. Fam, see, I want
yes,
to thank you for that, bruh, because
yes,
I need to emphasize that, and I'm glad you brought it up. Fam, all of those people who tell us as ADOS, and Chad, you know what I'm talking about when I say this. All those people who
100.
tell us that we're begging the white man, understand this government is your government. It is your
Facts.
government. You're not,
Yes,
how the hell are you
yes,
begging your government? They're your people. You put them there.
yes,
You helped put them there. You maybe didn't vote and some of them squeaked in there. What does it matter how the government was instituted? As a citizen, they work for you, or at least they're
yes.
supposed to. You're not begging your government for anything. You are having a
Anything.
sit down and demanding from your government a specific redress of grievances. We've got a 400-year justice claim against this government that it is time for
Yes.
this government to address. There is no begging to be found anywhere in that. Tell me what you think about that, Chris. I'm sorry, Chad.
I got bills in my house, and none of them are 400 years past due. That's the way I feel about it. Like they gonna come get me if I don't come right with the payments that they are expecting from me, right? So
Absolutely.
as you say, it's a debt. It's a debt, and so don't talk to me about how you don't feel like you owe this, right? Or nobody alive today that was actually a slave. Like that's not even an argument.
Mhm.
What we are talking about is what built this country, number one. And as I said in the chat, we freed this country, right?
Yep.
Because they don't even like to talk about us in the Revolutionary
Oh
War.
hell
Like
yeah.
we barely
We
get talked. We barely get talked about in the Civil War. You know what I'm
Crispus
saying? So
Attucks
so so
was the first body that dropped for freedom in the United
and
States.
the very first one to shed blood for this country to make it what it is today, right? And so when we come and we say this is redress recompense, and you are repairing our communities for what you have blatantly done. State sanctioned it.
Exactly.
This is all government sanctioned, what we're talking about. This is not like some rogue group like the KKK. Just all of a sudden they systematically or systemically oppressed all black people, all ADOS in this country. No, this is the U.S. government that has done this, and by policy and by decree and legislative movements, right? They have put us and engineered us into this bottom caste. And so when you say everybody ADOS and put 5 on it for a super PAC, that's exactly what needs to happen.
Man,
it needs to be like we do our Netflix, right? We got everybody paying the Netflix every month, right? Put $5 on your freedom.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So
this is not rocket surgery, as a white friend of mine would say. This isn't rocket surgery, fam. We are going to have to operate politically like every other group does.
Like every other group.
Period.
Yes,
look, the Asians were able to get an executive order signed by Donald J. Okay, so Donald J. Trump is so damn racist. By the way, my boy Cassius in New Orleans, I see you, fam. Happy Hump Day. Welcome to the broadcast. But the Asian community, through Political Action Committee, were able to get Donald Trump to sign an executive order. What is it? Executive Order 13892 or something like that. I did a broadcast about it. Organizing business money, resources, grants, loans for Asian American communities, Asian American and Pacific Islanders, right?
Yep.
But Donald Trump's a racist, though. Like Donald Trump, he's so racist, but yet he'll sign an executive order giving money to the Asians for business, seed money, loans, and so on and so forth. So you mean to tell me we can't get somebody sitting in there in the table with Donald Trump to advocate for our economic interests? People talking about
Facts.
That Donald Trump is so racist. But didn't we have our brother Isaiah Washington, among many others, who were key in the advocacy for the First Step Act that radically changed the federal sentencing guidelines and laws and institutions in the prison system, in the incarceration system in America? And it was a first step. Donald Trump he said, I not only will sign it, but any other legislation that comes to address this issue, get at me.
Yeah.
You feel me?
No, they're all for sale. I feel you. They're all for sale. All these politicians. And so that's why I support you, Brother Black. Like, let's get this super PAC going. Because what I know is the people with the passion are the people that actually put things and they execute them and they put them into practice. You know, you need passion to put into practice.
Yeah.
And you have a passion around it that we need to galvanize. You got your first supporter. I'm with you because
I appreciate that 100%.
100%. So you have, and I'm going to carry this message to Louisville. I already told you that. I'm on a plane at 10 a.m. in the morning. I'm in L.A., so I'm flying out there at 10 a.m. in the morning tomorrow morning, right? So I'm carrying your message with me because the Black Super PAC and a rebirth of Black radicalism is exactly what I wanted to see out of you. You asked at the beginning, what do you want to see out of this conference? You already talked about it. This is exactly what I want to see. I want to see us saying we're going to start putting our dollars behind this movement, and we're going to say, no, politicians, we understand you're for sale, and guess what? We're going to be a bidder.
Thank you.
We're in the auction.
You selling?
We're in the auction.
Buying.
Yep, we buying. Now, what's the price for this Black agenda?
Facts.
Right? We know we got to pay for it, but you're going to have to pay up too, right? So, one, Brother Black, I told you this before, you're an important voice. Thank you for everything you do. This is exactly what I needed to hear and the conversation I needed to have before I stepped my foot on that plane to get to Louisville, to touch down, be on the ground, and be in this room where it's going to be a watershed moment. It's going to be one of those moments that people are going to talk about and say, that's where the tide changed.
Fam,
and
I got goosebumps
where
right now. Look, literally, I got goosebumps. Brother. Imagining what we're going to harness with this conference.
Absolutely. Because what they underestimate, absolutely, because they don't realize how all of this has been building to this point. See, and so to bring in all of what is happening now in current popular culture, right? So the Amber Geiger trial and all these things to me are omens.
Yeah.
Right. So I view them and I see like an Amber guy, that's just waking people up a little bit more.
Yep.
Right. And getting you to look at the disparities between white women getting sentenced and black men, you know, your brother, your cousin,
Exactly.
your father, whoever, and your family getting sentenced. Right. So all these Donald Trump, just his whole election, that was waking black folks up a little bit more. Right.
Yep.
And getting them to look backwards and saying, oh, but wait. Let's look at Obama. What did he really do, right? And how did we get here today, right? And so now we got this man. We got him sitting in office. So what is he really doing that's different? Oh, actually, he's doing something that might be a little bit better, right? So all of these things are waking our communities up.
Yes,
and so I hate the term woke, but at the same time, it's very appropriate because we've been sleeping.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think that all of these things are lining up. And October 4th, 5th, they're going to be momentous historical days where we're going to look back and we're going to say things changed on those days.
Facts.
Right? A black super PAC came out of Louisville, Kentucky.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts.
those types of things are going to happen. So, Brother Black, I just want you to know, even though you're not going to be on the ground, you are going to be there. You're going to live on through everyone that's there because that's the message that's going to be carried forward. And we are coming out of this. And I've said this every time I've been on a call, we are going to win. We are going to win.
Without a doubt.
We are undefeated. There's no one who is beat in all of history. We are undefeated, even though we went up against chattel slavery and we still here. You know what I'm saying? That would have wiped out any other people. Any other people on the planet, it would have wiped them out. They'd be done. Like Tanzanians, right? Like we wouldn't even know they're around. So we still here. We still walking. So that right in and of itself speaks to the power and the pride that you should have of being ADOS.
Facts.
And so I think once we awaken that and once people really realize how powerful we are and the political power that we have, and on top of that,
there's no stopping us.
Put 5 on it. Right, that's gonna be easy for the super PAC. Put 5 on it. Let's make this shit happen. Let's march forward. We black radicals. We coming, and we not taking no bullshit. So that's all I want to say, Brother Black. I appreciate you, brother. Love you. You have a great night, and I'll see you. I'm gonna see you in Louisville, even though you ain't gonna be in Louisville. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
I'm gonna be watching with with my eyes wide open. I'm gonna have the needle here to poke me when I get sleepy, the whole 9 yards. I'm be ready.
Yes, brother. Yes, brother. Peace, fam. Peace.
Fam. Peace. Fam, yes. Yes. Look, fam, do you understand why it is that they never want us to fight? I'm going to say it, and I wish I could take credit for it, but I have to give credit to our brother, Professor Black Truth. The reason why they have worked hard overtime to keep us divided, separate, nitpicking at each other over the narcissism of small differences. The reason why they don't want us to fight is very simple. Because when ADOS fight, we win. When we organize together, we come together under a common umbrella, under a common banner, cleaving to our lineage, our heritage, and this unique justice claim, winning is not even up for debate. We stay winning. We've gone through the crucible, fam, and we've come through the other side, burnished like gold, like platinum. This country never could stop us, and it never will, because we built it. To destroy us destroys America. Now, they can keep us squelched. They can try their level best to keep us downtrodden, to keep us the bottom cast, keep everybody standing on our backs. But they've never been able to take us out of the game. Brother Chad is spot on. And yes, to all my ADOS family who are headed to Louisville tomorrow, please have a safe trip. Don't be flexing on Homeland Security. Let them do what they do. You know, TSA ain't the nicest, but you know what I'm saying? Let them do what they do so you can get there safe. All right? 425-296-1980. By the way, our brother brought up the Amber Geiger trial. And I see the Amber Geiger trial as a watershed moment in a lot of ways. This woman was convicted of murder. They had the option to slap her on the wrist. Oh, it was an accident. She was standing. Even the judge tried to throw in the whole castle doctrine thing, as if that obtained in any way, shape, or fashion. The whole 9 yards. The prosecution did its best to throw the damn case. And even still, the jury returned a verdict of guilty on murder. But before you rejoice, fam, understand that the legal system has a multitude of ways to be able to trick us out of justice. We're not done by a long shot. We still have yet to see this woman sentenced. Don't forget, Peter Liang was convicted as well, too. And the judge gave him no damn jail time for the murder of Akai. Right? So we can't take boot off a neck. Right? We still can't, not pay attention to what's happening. Sure, Botham Jean was not ADOS, but it doesn't matter. See, what people who are not ADOS fail to understand is that the fight that we're having with our government right now does have direct effects on you too. Because part of that broad brush that gets swept across the United States that paints ADOS as the bottom caste, if you come bearing melanin, you bear some of that too. Now, that doesn't mean you share in our unique struggle, our unique lineage, our unique heritage, but we're not blind that you experience in some way some of the bleed over effects. What are they called? Some of the backlash, the blowback, right, of America against its most American of American citizens. Simply because you come from elsewhere doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to escape being painted with the same 10 years. I didn't see the verdict today. 10 years. Ain't that a bitch? That bitch should be locked up for the rest of her motherfucking life. 10 years. See, fam? That's okay. That's all right. Brother Botham got some justice. It's our job to push it the rest of the way to ensure that each and every last person in America, ADOS first, but every person in America sees justice, because it is time for us to clean house. But we start with us first. Us first. That's all this is. We are in the front of the line, because that is our proper place as the most American of Americans. But we are here to fix all this shit. We was built for this. We was made for making America great. Everybody talking about MAGA. We are what make America great. And we are what will make America a great again. You got people like what's his name? Dynast, Amir, what's his name? Search for Uhuru. He's doing a live broadcast right now asking, why is ADOS trying to integrate into Amber Geiger's America? This ain't Amber Geiger's America. This is our America that Amber Geiger came over here and decided to try to steal from us. ADOS is about taking our America back and making it great again, starting with us. This ain't about no damn immigration or integration or whatever the case may be. This is about us taking our proper place, our proper position as the citizens, the primary citizens of this country. The vast majority of our fellow white citizens trace their lineage, their heritage back to immigrants that came over here in the late 1800s and the early 1900s through Ellis Island. You don't get to tell us shit. You don't get to tell us a damn thing. But what do you expect from people like Dynast? You know what I'm saying? Who got 1 foot over in Africa and 1 foot over here. I wish he would just go ahead and go to fuck to Africa and stay there. I don't have no ill will against the brother. Like, I love Dynast. But For him to keep trying to put his mouth on ADOS, you know what I'm saying? When he knows what, see, the thing is that you got ADOS people out there that know what this thing is about. But we're hitting people in the places where they don't want to be hit. We're hitting people in places they don't want us to look, right? Because there's a lot of folk that have made good livings off of our struggle, off of our understanding. Where's our place? Who are we? And so on and so forth. Dynas went to Africa to look for his who is he. I'm glad he found it. That worked for him. He's a damn Nigerian prince now, whatever the fuck that means. But I ain't no damn Nigerian. I'm an American. I'm the most American of Americans, and I don't need to apologize for anybody for wanting to see better where I am, in my home, on my homeland, on my soil. This governmental system, for better or for worse, is mine. For me to utilize for the betterment of me and my tribe. If America is, if being a Nigerian prince is so damn great, then why isn't Dynas broadcasting from Nigeria? You know, being Oba Babatande, whatever the fuck they named him during that big ritual ceremony, why isn't he broadcasting from there? No shade, Dynas. You know I've been on your show before, man. I'm willing to have you on mine. But keep your mouth off of us. We're not trying to integrate a damn thing. This is our country. Everybody came over here to this country who wasn't white folk that were here already, natives who were here already, and our enslaved ancestors. Everybody else came here and refused to integrate into our country. We're not trying to integrate into Amber Geiger's America. Amber Geiger refused to integrate into our America. And I am here as ADOS, the American descendant of slavery, to take my country back and make my country great again. This is my homeland. This is where my history is. This is where my ancestors' bones are buried. And I owe nobody a fucking apology for that. 425-296-1980, fam. The line is open. Speak your piece. No, fam, again, don't go running to Dynas trying to create drama and conflict. I have no ill will toward the brother. But he does his little digs at ADOS because he knows it gets some clicks and views, right? It gets some support and stuff like that. And again, I'm not going to hate on the brother. Just be honest about what it is that you're doing. Be honest about the fact that you're using ADOS to be able to get your come up, which makes sense as royalty, as a Nigerian prince. It's all about the bag. Hell, in some ways, Dynas is like a converted immigrant to America, even though he's ADOS. Like, pretty soon, he's going to be treating his own people, ADOS people, like an immigrant from Africa, berating us for our perceived pathologies and dysfunctions and so on and so forth. If Nigeria is so damn great, if Africa is so damn great, Dynas, great. Take your ass there and broadcast your shit from there and tell us how great it is and encourage us to come and take a part of it there. I got no beef with that. But you still sitting your ass here in my country and then got the nerve to put my tribe's name in your mouth? And you're not speaking about us about nothing but the utmost of respect? Come on now. Not today, Dynas. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. You know, big ups to you. You're a prince now. You royalty. Then go be royal, fam. This ain't got nothing to do with you, obviously. You straight. So unless you opening your mouth to advocate for the political, economic, financial, legal strength of our people, of ADOS, we don't need to hear shit from you. Your opinion don't matter. 425-296-1980, fam. I know it's getting late, fam, and I was late, and y'all have been so patient with me. But I hope that this comeback broadcast is giving you a little bit to chew on, right? Giving you something to think about going into our first annual inaugural ADOS conference, right, Christine? The Chinese is running it. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of nerve to try to tell us about ADOS over here. You know what I'm saying? Boots on the ground. What's good, fam? I see you. Welcome to the broadcast. Alicia, yep, he be talking hella slick. See, fam, there's a lot of them that do the same thing. Caller from 216 is your man Mark Black. What's your name? Where you calling from? And what's on your mind?
This is the Cool Man, Washington, D.C.
The Cool Man, what's good, fam? Good to hear from you.
Yeah, man, it's great hearing from you. I missed you the past few weeks.
Man, I missed y'all too. You don't even know, fam. It's a pleasure to be talking with y'all again, man. What's on your mind?
Sure. I want to keep it short tonight. I just want to say what I would like to see come out of the conference is for us to go to some of the people who have a lot of skin. You know, we talk about putting skin in the game. Go to some people who have a lot of skin that we have been supporting, such as the comedian Monique, Byron Allen, I think Dr. Dre, I think Tone said no, Dr. Dre. Well, see if they're willing to pony up a little bit to help with the Black Pack. I mean,
facts.
I think ADOS has showing them what we're about enough to say, you know, for them to decide whether they want to support or not. I think we should start going to them and say, hey, you know, what do you think about this ADOS thing?
Facts. I think Byron Allen would be on board like nobody's business. That's a dope brother. Like I have no doubt that whatever aims or goals that we decide as a tribe to do, that our brother Byron Allen is gonna get on board. Not so certain about Dre, to keep it a full buck. But here's another thing, if I may, the Cool Man. I also think that we need to start holding Black celebrity to account moving forward from this conference. Right? Made and Dave, glad to be back, fam. We need to start making that a concerted effort, right? That where we start looking at Black celebrity and start moving away that decadent veil that Tone be talking about and start holding their asses to account. You know, start making them stand on their lineage, their heritage, whether they want to or not, right? No more days of brother Tamir getting killed and you know what I'm saying? And LeBron don't have shit to say. No.
Yeah.
No, LeBron, you gonna be talking or your ass is done. You are dead to us. You see what I'm saying?
Especially with, I mean, if you have a celebrity and things happen in their backyard, like it happened with LeBron James, we got to expect these celebrities, if they want to be active, to come out and say something about it.
Facts.
And to support ADOS, put ADOS out there and let everybody know what ADOS is all about as well. I agree with you 100%.
Absolutely. And if they
100%.
don't, all they get from us is shade, fire, and smoke. I ain't putting no more money in no more Black celebrity hands that, first of all, I don't know where they come from. So I'm not supporting no more Cardi B's or these wannabe Black people from everywhere else who come over here, get they come up and this shit on us. Nope, no more of that. And I'm not putting no more money and support and love behind no celebrity that don't have ADOS in their mouth. Period. Point blank.
Agree with you 100%. I'm with you 100%. Mike, I'll let you go with that, man.
Thank you, the Cool Man. Hey, always a pleasure to hear from you, fam. Hey, I love you. Thank you so much for your love and support, man. Call in anytime.
Will do. Love you too, Mark.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the Cool Man is spot on, fam. We gotta start holding these celebrities to account. See, part of the problem with the decadent veil, fam, is that we've been buying into a lot of bullshit due to our aspirational nature. We are the dreamers of the United States, fam. But like a great comedian said once, right? Shout out to George Carlin, may he rest. He said they call it the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it. And he was right to a certain extent, fam. We have been the dreamers of America. Right? But now that we are awakening, the awakening ADOS giant, we need to be the doers of America, starting with us first. But America is going to experience a groundswell and a change from our advocacy that sweeps across every institution, every system, whether it's education, whether it's entertainment. No more does the status quo obtain, because once you put on your ADOS lenses and you see this thing through the lens that you need to be seeing it through, you can't allow yourselves to go back to the old ways. You can't allow yourself to be distracted by beautiful, gold-woven, decadent veils that serve to only keep you sleeping, living the American dream. To be more precise, the American nightmare. No, it is time, my tribe's people, to wake up from the nightmare and start building the American dream. And it starts with us first, in our proper place, in our proper position as the most American of Americans. Point blank, full stop. All of these celebrities need to be held to account. The very first question Yvette taught us to ask them: who you? Where you from? Right? Because if you from the DR, or you from Cuba, or you from, Lagos or whatever, what the hell do you got to say on anything that has any bearing on us? We don't need to hear shit from you unless you're coming out with full-throated, unabashed, full-bore support for our aims, goals, and interests. You can politely fall the fuck back and shut the fuck up. But if you are a member of our tribe and you do share our lineage, shout out to Alma X, by the way, I see you. Welcome to the broadcast. If you do share our lineage and you out there getting a come up and our name ain't in your mouth, take note. Your day is coming, and rue the day that you crossed us. Because we will make you pay for what you do or not do for us. You get a position in front of those cameras, our name better be in your mouth with respect. Caller from 714, it's your man Mark Black. What's your name, where you calling from, and what's on your mind?
Brother Mark, good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, family. How's everybody doing, ADS family?
That's right.
Mark, this is EXZX.
Yes.
Calling from Southern Cal.
Yes, sir. Hit me with it, Brother Axe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just wanted to give you a big shout out for being there, Mark. I don't catch you all the time, but whenever I do catch you, you always got something important to say, something vital for the community, for the family. I just appreciate you. Really do.
I thank you.
I'm glad you had success with your move. Glad that's all over with.
Yeah,
now,
me
so
too,
you can get back to the business of handling ADOS.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say, those 3 points that you emphasized as far as what you're expecting to come out of the ADOS conference. I think those 3 will come out and a lot more. At least that's what I'm hoping.
That's what I'm talking about.
I really think this movement is a movement of our time, and as Yvette always says, it's about timing, and we need to just get on board with this, stay on our stamp, and I think it's going to be a groundswell. People just don't know what this is going to become.
Exactly.
They do not know.
I got a few ideas, but you're right. We don't know. And that's the beautiful thing. We get the chance to write history. We get the chance to actually make history. And I'm not talking about Black history, right? Although that's dope. We as ADOS will get a chance to make American history today.
That's true, brother. And the timing right now, our community is on fire. We really have no choice in this matter.
Yes.
I mean, I'm in this basically for the kids and the future generations. And if our young people, if this catches with them, it's over.
It's over.
It is over.
It's over. Exactly. If we
I,
can pass this torch, if we can take this baton of this advocacy, right, of this justice claim, and pass it to the next generation, it is a wrap for white supremacy. It's a wrap for the non-payment of this debt in America. It's a wrap.
yeah. All those walls and glass ceilings, they're gonna fall down, brother,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna build it back up
Yep.
for ourselves. As you were saying, we're gonna make it great, like it should be,
Exactly.
like it
Dave
should be.
Chappelle said it in his last special. He said, it's always been black folk that saved America. And it's going to be us that save America again. Now, he joked about gun control and shit like that, and I ain't really with that. But at the same token, he was damn straight spot on right. America, we have been the canary in the coal mine. We have been the
Yeah,
Jiminy Cricket of America. We are America's conscience. America has no conscience otherwise. This is a nation of a bunch of cutthroat thugs and mercenaries that owe no loyalty to anything but the almighty greenback. We're the
you got that
only
right, brother.
people that have upheld any ideals in this country. If ADOS disappeared from America tomorrow, there would be a civil war in 10 years.
Well, the CBC had as their slogan at one time. I think with pressure from ADOS, they changed it, but they were saying they were the
The
moral
conscience of the
fiber or something.
Congress.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean they were right in a sense,
Yes, they
but
were.
yeah, but we're much more than that. We're much
Here's the
more than
thing.
that.
There is a time. So, like the Bible says, to everything there is a season, right? There's a time to reap and a time to sow, a time to live and a time to die, and all of it, right? There's a time to be a voice, to be a conscience, right? To be the moral arbiter and the compass. But then there's also a time to pick up the motherfucking tools and start doing work. The problem with the CBC is that they so busy being the damn whiny, cryy conference, conscience of the Congress that they forget that they were sent there to do work for the damn constituents. That's as simple as
Yeah,
that.
they failed us big time, brother.
Yeah.
And there's a reckoning for the CDC, and it's coming.
Oh, most definitely. Oh,
So
I
they
can't
better get
wait.
ready, man. They better get ready.
I can't wait until ADOS. Look, if we get this ADOS pack kicking off the way that I hope we get it kicking off, I want to see primary challenges to Clyburn. I want to see primary challenges to Sheila Jackson Lee. I want to see primary challenges to that Frederica cowboy hat character. I want to see John Lewis. He needs to retire. Hopefully
Look,
gracefully, but I don't care how he does it. He needs to go away. We need Cummings
yeah,
to go the hell away. We need to be putting our people up there saying, hey, we've had
yeah,
this lot in here for 40 years, 26 years, 30 years, and they've done nothing for our communities. We've had Cummings there representing Be-More, and our community is worse than it's ever been. We need full-throated, unabashed, full-bore advocacy of our interests. And a super PAC will allow us to do that in a way like nothing else will. Why are we waiting on the
yeah,
so-called Justice Democrats, who we now know ain't nothing else but just more of the same soft, racist, progressive bullshit we've been getting from the Democrats? Nope. Al Green needs to go. All of them need to go. If you black and you sitting in Congress, whether you ADOS or not, if you don't have our name on your mouth, your ass is among the first to go because you're useless and we don't need you there. If you're
I
not there with full bore advocacy for us and our interests, which is what? The remediation, the restoration, and the repair of the American descendants of slavery, first and foremost, before anything else.
I couldn't say it better, brother. I think they are aware of us now. They probably don't know what we're potentially able and gonna do,
Yep.
but they've been warned. They've been warned. So their heads are gonna swim, man.
Oh, yeah.
The women and the men that are supposed to be representing us. So It's time.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, brother, I'm not going to keep you. Probably got some more phone calls. I
Nah,
just
nah.
want to say
Hey,
hello
it's
to
my
the family.
pleasure,
Thank you,
family.
Mark,
You can talk
again.
as long as you like. You know what I'm saying? This is your broadcast, fam. I'm just
Thank,
glad to
thank
hear
you,
from
brother.
you. Absolutely. You take it easy, brother, and peace to you.
I'll talk to you again.
Yes,
And
sir.
good night, family.
Good
Take
night,
care.
sir. Yeah, family, we coming. It's as simple as that. We have already given our warning shots as ADOS. We told them to stop putting immigration and open borders above our interests. We told the CBC to stop advocating for everybody but us. We told the CBC that our LGBTQIA brothers and sisters are not separate from us, and if you're advocating for them, you need to be advocating for us, period. We told them. We have given our warning shots. Shout out to my esteemed brother Double C is in the house. Happy Hump Day and welcome to the broadcast, fam. We have already delivered our warning shots. So now in 2020, 2022, 2024, when we organize this black pack and we start funding their replacements, they can retire gracefully into the sunset or they can retire ungracefully. I don't care if they go away mad. You feel me? Don't go away mad. Just go away. You're not there to do work for us, to advocate in our interests. It's a wrap for you. ADOS ain't taking no shorts. Heads will roll, not literally, figuratively. Heads will roll. Careers will be ended. Political careers will be ended. We're done. No more playtime, right? No reparations, no remediation, restoration, and repair for our people. No black vote. There will never be another damn Democratic president that sits in the White House if you keep messing with ADOS. Ever. Ever. And the first time a Republican president comes out with any degree of support for us, enough to give us some wiggle room for us to work with them, the Dems are done. They won't even get elected dog catcher. Because, fam, understand, the Republicans are not wrong when they say that we've had Democratic control over our cities for decades with nothing to show for it. They're not wrong in that. Now, I understand they're being disingenuous because if we had them in charge, they wouldn't do shit for us either. But they're not wrong in that we have elected Democrat after Democrat after Democrat after Democrat after Democrat, and we have got jack shit to show for it. They're not wrong when they say that. And that day is over. Our votes are whores. Our votes are for sale, just like politicians are for sale. If politicians want to hook up with a vote, they got to put some skin in the game. They got to put some money up on the table. They got to put some advocacy up on the table. We need good faith money because they owe us the debt. But we're gonna need $1 trillion up front just to show America serious. We're gonna need that. You can put it in the programs, you can do it however you want to do it. We'll figure out the best way to distribute that to ADOS. But we need some good faith capital. We need some good faith money put up. Caller from 916, it's your man Mark Black. What's your name, where you calling from, and what's on your mind?
What's happening? It's your boy Boots on the Ground there.
Boots on the ground, brother. I have missed your ass. Where the hell have you been?
Trying to get it together, man.
I ain't mad at
What's
you,
the
fam.
word?
I ain't mad at you. So good to hear from you, man. Talk to me.
Man, I can't call it, man. Same old stuff, different toilet.
Yes, sir.
Nothing, man. You know we coming, man.
Yes, sir.
They like it or not.
Like it or not, we coming. We are coming.
And if they ain't talking nothing for us, we ain't listening.
Fam, you inspired me like nobody's business because I remember your story of how when you was down, you know what I'm saying, behind the walls, and how you had to go out there and risk your life for the so-called great state of California as a firefighter during the wildfires, and they wasn't paying y'all shit. Meanwhile, now you got skills to pay the bills, and you can't even get a job as a damn firefighter. Man, that
No,
shit got me
no,
heated, fam. That got me
not
heated. I'm
not even.
serious.
Look, they just played me the other day. I go to the security. It's called Securitas. I don't know if it's in y'all state or country, but they had me under the impression that they was going back 7 years. I've been home 7 years, 5 months, right?
Right?
Give these people my money, $116 to do a fingerprint.
Yeah.
They go tell me on the last day, oh, well, the fingerprint people go back to you 18 years old.
Ain't that a bitch?
No refund,
Oh, they ain't gonna
non-refundable.
give your money back, bruh.
Talking about I can appeal it.
Appeal what?
Yeah. The whatever they fine on me or whatever.
It's all game. See, that's the reason why we got to be fighting for brothers like our brothers, boots on the ground. Mass incarceration kept a whole bunch of us from opportunities. Brothers and sisters not being able to get places to live because they allowed to discriminate against felons. You know what I'm saying? Brothers and sisters not being able to get jobs and so on and so forth. Brother, you one of the reasons why I fight.
They want us intense, man.
Mm-hmm. But we coming. It ain't no
Oh yeah,
question. We here to change it all. And the best part about it
right.
is that this is our government. We know how to operate this motherfucker like nobody's business. When we're
Yep.
done dealing with Uncle Sam, presenting our invoice and getting put paid to this justice claim, watch what we do. Watch
We
what we
we
do.
citizens. We citizens. Our vote matter.
You're
They can
damn
try every
right.
little book they want to try. Because they try, oh, we gonna let the prisoners vote, or we gonna let the immigrants. They want everybody to vote with us because we talking about holding it, huh?
Yeah. Let them. It ain't gonna help
Mm.
them. It ain't gonna help them. If you look at Latinos primarily vote Republican. So the Democrats are
Exactly.
shooting their damn self in the foot, talking about DACA,
Yep.
DACA, Dreamers. No, nobody care.
Mhm.
They'll
Mhm.
take free health care. You don't question us about our immigration status? Fantastico.
They,
And then they will promptly
they
walk their ass into that booth and press R.
did
These
you
dumb
see
sons
what
of
they said,
bitches.
Mark? You see what they said in the chat about Corey and Kamala?
Yeah.
We did that. That's our work.
That was us, fam. That was us. You, hats off to us. To you, ADOS. Corey and Kamala thought they was just going to have an easy walk into the White House. Corey thought he was Barack Obama 2.0. Little did he
Uh,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Little did he know. It's like, well, Corey, wait a
Mhm.
minute. Now, we had a Barack Obama 1.0, bro. We got some questions for you. How you feel about a black agenda? And don't tell us this story about how your family had to buy their way into a segregated neighborhood. Okay, that's fine. What's your thought on it? What's your thought on this justice claim, bro? Oh, you don't have nothing to say? Pause.
Hey, Mark,
Dismissed.
I want to say one thing, and I'm gonna get off of
Go
here.
ahead, fam.
If we don't do nothing by 2050, we gonna be in the bud fields. We ain't gonna be ain't no more cotton field. We gonna be in the cannabis fields picking
Facts.
buds.
Facts. We got to
If
do
we
something,
don't do
fam. This,
nothing now, you know how much a cheeseburger gonna cost? We gonna be eating slop again.
yeah, that's facts. That's facts. As a matter of fact, fam,
2050.
when you drop off, with your permission, I want to expound on that for a while. So when you fall back, I'm gonna chop up a little bit on that because you absolutely
Okay.
spot on right, and we're gonna talk
And
about it today.
another thing, Mark, did you hear Trump talking about he going after the homeless? Talking about they going to government facilities.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That's why it's time for us to have an ADOS pack. Because in places like LA, in places like Oakland, in places like San Francisco, in Sacktown, in places like, you know what I'm saying, ATL and so on and so forth, who's making up the homeless? That's us. It's another means by
Yeah.
which to
Yeah.
incarcerate us. We can't have that.
Yeah.
We can't have that.
No, it's gonna be conservation camps.
I don't know about all of that, but what I do know is this. if we don't fight now, we ain't gonna get a chance to. And don't worry, I'm gonna address it, fam. I'm gonna address it.
Okay. Or I'm gonna fall back.
Hey, brother, don't stay gone, or I will come look for your ass. Be
I'm not,
here.
Mark.
All right, brother. I love
I'm
you,
not.
man. Peace.
Love you too, Mark. Love you.
Our brother brought up a really important point. Fam, one of the things that you now see, I study stuff across different spectrums. I'm hugely into science and biology, chemistry, physics, etc. Now, what you're starting to see with the advent of the push of the environmental movement is a push toward more vegetarian and veganism. And you're thinking, well, that's fairly harmless, right? We could eat more vegetables and stuff like that and save, environmental land from farms for cows and pigs and so on and so forth. They put it in a way that makes it sound like that the environment would be, a lot better off without agriculture, or I should say, like animal agriculture, right? And to a certain extent, some of that is true. Cows and pigs do put off methane in their waste, which is a greenhouse gas, about 30 times more powerful than CO2. Okay, so there's some truth to what they're saying. Here's the problem. They will be pushing to eliminate food products that are still natural, right? Cows, pigs, all of that stuff is still natural, right? Chickens, they may factory farm them for profit and all this and that and the third, but anybody can get a piece of dirt, get them some chickens, get them some cows, get them some pigs, raise them up, and have fresh food to eat. Okay? This is facts. The alternatives that they're trying to push, such as artificial meat grown in vats and things like that, they're pushing it as a way of being able to heal the environment. It's easier and safer. But what it is, fam, is a monopoly on the food supply. And I need y'all to understand that. When you have meat being grown in vats, sure, it may provide you all the nutritional value you might need. Sure, it may save the space that's taken up by a Holstein or a Jersey or, a Guernsey or whatever, right? That's fine. But it also means that whoever controls the vats controls the food supply. So when the brother was saying that by 2050, if we don't push this advocacy, we're going to be eating slop, he's not wrong. The well-to-do, the ones who will be able to afford natural food, good food, wholesome food, that isn't vat grown, that isn't created in a lab. And again, I have nothing against science. We should be able to have those other foods as an adjunct. I don't think any human should ever go hungry. Call me crazy, but if you get born, right, if you go through the 9 months in your mama to make it here, we should at the very least feed you, right? So I'm not going to sit here and call scientifically based food or GMOs frankenfood. I'm not. But what I will say is this. When those foods become the predominant food base in our society, we're going to have a problem unlike we've never seen. Unlike we've never seen. Because at that particular point, fam, whoever controls the vats, whoever controls the petri dishes, the labs, is going to control the food supply. Black Man 903, it's your man. What's good, fam?
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right, fam. Talk to me.
I had a question real quick.
Absolutely.
Did they do that? Did they do that debate on CNN about the LGBTQ community?
Did they do what?
They had a presidential debate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying the next issue was going to be the LGBTQ community.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think both debates. Like I think all of the debates we had so far has been primarily about, DACA, Dreamers, gay rights, the LGBT. Yeah. So I mean, it wouldn't be no different than what they've been doing.
Specifically be for them. And when you're talking about having a super PAC, I think that's what people should understand, that when you have when they have a presidential debate about your forum and only your forum, whether it's DACA, whether it's, LGBTQ, and they say no to reparations or no to a black agenda whatsoever, and they laugh at you. They laugh. She laughed at you. She laughed at us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything just for black people. No. She said that came out of her mouth. That shows when you don't have that kind of power, you don't have that kind of pact. Because she would have never said, "There's no way in the world I'm going to do just anything for just all gay community or all LGBTQ community. There's no way I'm going to do that." No.
Absolutely. And here's
when it comes to us,
go ahead, fam.
But when it comes to us, it's okay to spit in our face. It's okay to play us off. And Bernie Sanders, what he said about what is that? What do you mean? And somebody said cash payments. Well, you're talking about a racial wealth gap. How else do you make that gap up without putting money in somebody's pocket? Who you have a debt owed to?
But see, here's the thing. Bernie Sanders wants to put money in everybody's pocket, but he can't do that and do us first.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. So he can sit there and say, what does that mean? What are you meaning by that? I got a better plan for everybody. No, you have a specific plan for the people who are already standing in line. We were already standing in line, and you keep jumping over us to get to everybody else. Hey, y'all, come up here. It's like you go to the club, and you have these one dudes that go in to the back door and get into the club and enjoy the environment just as much as you pay $50 to get into the club. That's not right.
Nope. Let me tell you something. It's a never unending source of irony for me that we as ADOS are having to listen to a child of immigrants tell us what's our due. Because Bernard Sanders is an American. He's what, second generation? His family immigrated here from Europe. They were Jews.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's what Kamala Harris, that's what I say. People like Tom Hartman and them, they talk about the American dream, but they talk about the American dream from an immigrant standpoint, of being a first-generation immigrant. Well, in my mom's country, they don't have guns. In my mom's country, they don't do this. In my mom's country, they don't do that.
Well, in your mom's country, why the hell ain't you in your mom's country? If your mom's country is so damn great, take your ass back there.
Yeah. You said the guy from Nigeria. You come over here talking bad about a group of people, well, then stay over there and leave us alone then.
Yeah.
But don't come over here talking noise and interfering in a spot that's not yours to be interfering in the first place, you know? And the last thing I wanted to sit there and say about the brother just called in about eating food. You know me, I go out there and shoot my stuff.
That's what I'm talking about.
And 90% of what I eat this winter will come from wild game.
That's what I'm
trap
talking
my
about,
own food. I still trap. I still go out there and shoot. You know, obviously people come by and give me meat as well, but still, for the most part, 90% of my winter meat or my winter diet is from food out there. 90% of it.
Fam, I'm right there with you, man. We ADOS males need to be organized in hunting clubs. We don't need to just be letting white boys go out there. We need to be going after elk. We need to be going after deer.
I say it all the time. But you always say black folks. That's what white folks do. We don't do that. That's what white folks do.
That's some bullshit.
White folks only eat. They're the only ones who eat.
Man, look, I stay on my survival shit. Look, I read books from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints on how to store food away from my family. We were working on right now trying to get a year's supply of food for everybody in my household. I am wanting to learn how to hunt.
There's nothing wrong with stockpiling like that. Whether it's ammo, whether it's food, and I remember my grandmother and them used to can the food back in the day. You know, I used to can it, they used to put it into the pot, and they would can it. That's a lost art anymore. You ask somebody about canning today or making preserves or strawberry preserves or something like that, they'll look at you like, that's what old black folks do. We don't do that. Just go down the store and get you a piece of jam or whatever. It's not, but that's not a survival instinct anymore. We used to be preppers. We used to be prepared.
Yeah.
We used to be, back in the day, we used to have food galore. Make sure you have something set up for that rainy day if something happened.
Now we watching white folks do.
We're paycheck to paycheck now. We don't prepare anymore. We don't prepare for anything anymore. And then we get mad at the government when they're not here fast enough for us.
Facts.
You know, like Kanye said, George Bush didn't care about black people. Well, black people, we didn't care about our homes first because we didn't store up and knowing what we would need if a disaster did come.
Man, let me tell you something. Look, it would be one thing if you had brothers and sisters who were gangsters in the hood who all put into a kitty to lay in a store of food for the community so that the poles come in and shut down the community, or there's a natural disaster or something like that. Look, say what you will about our gangster brothers and sisters back in the day, but look at people like Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy Johnson was known for feeding people. Bumpy Johnson, sure, he made money
Right.
off the people. Crime is crime, right?
Right.
It is what it is, right? But Bumpy also made sure people ate. When people needed jobs, Bumpy worked to make sure to get jobs. Bumpy was a patron of the community. He understood what side his bread was buttered on. It was Al Capone, I believe, who said that if you take care of the community, they will let you get away with murder. And he's absolutely spot on. We the only group that has a criminal element that has never been allowed to parlay criminal resources into legitimate pursuits. Well, what better way?
In other words, like the Kennedys. Bootlegging money for the Kennedys still lasts in this day, and that's crazy to me.
That absolutely. Joseph Kennedy made his millions being a drug dealer, a bootlegger.
Yeah.
A bootlegger is just another word for drug dealer, right? He made money pushing the crack, the water of his day, which was booze, right? And a generation later had not one but two sons. One actually did get elected as president, and the other one was running and was likely to get elected as president. You feel me? So we're the only ones who have not been able to take take illegitimate resource gathering, what I call extra legal resource acquisition. We're the only ones who haven't been able to utilize extra legal resource acquisition and parlay that into legitimate pursuits. Well, what better way to do that than to practice community development? Right. So, I remember I got a homeboy who's a GD, right? A gangster disciple. And he told me that back in the day, when the gangster disciples first, came to the fore, they were about community development. It wasn't until the crack era that they turned into this, kind of raving, warring, nut job gang, killing up their own folk and shit, right? Our gangsters can get back there again. And they would have the support of our community. The reason why we would support them is because we understand people got to eat. But don't do us in your pursuit of eating. You know what I'm saying? If you eating, we all should eat. And that's the truth.
When my family first came to California, from Texas to California, when they first moved to their area in Richmond, California, in that area over there, they were able, you would go down the road, I'm seriously, because they're most Southerners, right? Mm-hmm. And in their backyard, you would have one family would have goats, one family would have pigs, one family would have chickens, one family, you know what I mean, so on and so forth. And they would barter each other out.
You damn right.
The same way that the Mexicans are doing now is what they were doing back then. But what had changed was the city ordinance. You could no longer have those kind of animals in your backyard. You could no longer have those kind of animals on your premises.
Yep.
So it's just another way to keep you. So now you have to go to the store. Now you have to go buy the
check
now
game,
you have to go to the store to go buy your food. And that's what makes you poor and poor and poor, because you're no longer able to
Hold
not
on a second,
go
though,
to
fam,
the supermarket
because
anymore.
we the only ones that actually obey that. I watch YouTubers right now, white YouTubers that are practicing what's called urban agriculture, where they do stealth agriculture, where they got pigs, they got goats, they got chickens and shit right there in the heart of the fucking city. They just not running off at their mouth, letting the motherfucking city know what they got cracking. So they're able to do it under low key. See, we the only ones, fam. We the only ones that's upheld the ideals. Whenever laws have been passed, we the only ones that have actually said, okay, this is the law, we gonna honor the law. We the only ones that have ever supported America. Everybody else feels free to ignore America, its rules, its laws, whenever the fuck they feel like. Why? Because they owe no loyalty to America. They owe none.
I watch you guys I watch you YouTubers all around go around messing with these police on this First Amendment, all that kind of a thing. And they be cashing in because the cops be violating their rights.
Yo, let me tell you something, fam. I'm gonna share with you a quick story, right? Back in the day, when I was, trying to find my place as a radical, because I think in a way I've always been kind of radical. You know what I'm saying? I was just misdirected, misguided, if you will, right? So back in
Yeah.
the day, I was on some, I'll call it, I won't call it right wing, I'll say constitutionalist shit, right? I carried
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
a pocket
Yeah.
constitution in my pocket with
Right.
all the amendments and
Right.
everything, right? So one of the things that I learned in the Constitution was that the government, in Article 1, Section 3, the government shall make nothing but gold or silver legal payment for debts, right? Okay, so I
Right.
went into a grocery store, went grocery shopping, okay? This is
Hmm?
true shit. Went grocery shopping, filled my cart up with groceries, headed up to the front. They rang me up and they said, here's the total. I think it came to like, 200, 300 some dollars, right? I was like, yeah, I said, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to take the tax off. This is an Article 1, Section 3 sale or purchase. And the dude behind the counter said, Article 1, Section 3. I said, yeah. And I pulled out my pocket constitution. I said, right here, I said, the government is not allowed to take this as payment for tax debt. So you can't charge me any taxes. He said, I'm gonna need to go get the manager. Manager went and
Yeah.
came over, and I said, I'm sorry, sir, I'm not trying to cause you any trouble. I said, but I'm establishing my rights under the Constitution. I do not owe tax on this food. I said, because the government is
Right.
demanding payment of the tax in a means by which I don't have the means to pay the tax. You know what the manager did? The manager went over to the motherfucking POS terminal, hit a few buttons. He said, your new total is blah, 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 blah. And I walked out of there without paying a damn
Right.
thing in tax.
Yep.
Fam, my whole point is this. We as ADOS don't understand, as citizens, we are sovereign. Right? The government doesn't tell us what to do. We tell the government what to do. Too long we've been allowing just white folks or illegal immigrants now and LGBTQ to tell the government what to do. No. ADOS is here to tell you that it is your turn to tell the government how it should serve you. And if it does not serve you, then you fight by any means that you have available to ensure that your rights are upheld. Because as an American, you only have the rights you're willing to fight, bleed, and or die for. No
Right.
more,
And
no less.
I think again, when you go back to it, I wish a lot of us again would go back and ask our parents or our aunts and uncles these stories and see how sufficient we used to be for one another in
Yes.
our own spaces.
Yes.
Being able to barter and trade, and hey, if I need some food, but can you fix my car? Vice versa, whatever the case might be. Can you show me how to shoot? Can you show me how to fix? We were so efficient into one another, and we've lost a lot of that.
Let me tell
And
you
I hope
something,
after
fam.
this,
I grew up in the
this,
PJs. And even as poor as we were, we could go and knock on our neighbor's door and borrow a couple of eggs. And in return, when they came and hit us up for a cup of sugar, we'd kick them down a cup of sugar. We could go borrow a stick of
exactly,
butter. You know what I'm saying? Back in the
exactly,
day, if one family was eating, I remember it was a sister in particular who couldn't pay her rent that month, right? You know what the community did?
yeah,
They got together,
had a
cooked
rent party,
meals, and sold plates of food, a rent
yeah,
party. They sold plates of
yeah,
food, $5, until the sister was able to pay her rent. And then they put some money in her
right.
pocket.
Stop hollering at that baby.
You feel me?
So that's all I want to say, Mark. But I look forward to the conference too, and I hope after the conference comes through and everything happens, I really hope that this is a really meaningful movement.
It's going to be. I have no doubt, man. Like our brother said previously, he said everything that I asked for can happen and more. It is time for it to happen. So, fam, as always, man, I thank you for your call. It's always a pleasure. You
Thanks a
stay
lot.
up, bro. Peace to you.
All right, peace.
Fam, did you think that I was just going to come back and we was just going to talk about one thing and be done? No, fam. This is our broadcast tonight. This is the eve of our inaugural coming out party as ADOS. We're here to celebrate. We're here to study. We're here to ask questions. We're here to discuss. 425-296-1980 is the number. Call in if you feel like you need to call in. We're going to go and we're going to keep going until either I get tired or y'all do. I know it's late for some of y'all on my East Coast people or whatever the case may be. So if you need to fall back, I hope y'all have a fantastic next few days. I will be broadcasting on Saturday, right? Going over what I learned from the live stream of the ADOS conference, right? I'm looking forward to that. So be prepared for that. 425-296-1980 is the number, fam. Give me a call if you want to discuss the Amber Geiger verdict, if you want to discuss something else in the news cycle, if you have a question for your brother. I don't know everything, but humbly I'll attempt to answer it. And girl 1234, boy 456 have been saying some really dope shit in chat. You know, the fact is, fam, is that a lot of us need to stop pretending. You know what? I'll touch on it after this call. Caller from 413. It's your man Mark Black. What's your name? Where you calling from? And what's on your mind?
This is Double C.
Double C. What's good, baby?
Well, there's so much I want to talk about, but I want to stick with one thing that I saw in the Time magazine, which was illegal immigrants now qualify for legal services.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand. And I'm thinking, wow, these guys just come over here and leapfrog over us. But
Yeah.
it's something I'm noticing. The stronger that ADOS gets, the more they try to silence it with things like that, or things like the alphabet community.
Yeah.
Especially with T's. In New York, you can get fined up to $250,000 if you call them out their name.
That don't make no motherfucking sense, Cease. So let me get this straight. I can come up to you, put my finger in your chest, and call you a bunch of niggas, a racial slur. Okay? Nobody's getting fined. Nobody's getting sentenced. There's not even going to be a case. But if I refuse to say him to somebody who identifies as a woman, but still has the twig and berries, so to speak, I'm going to keep it clean.
Okay.
I face a $250,000 fine and jail time? What in the actual fuck is that?
I don't know, but hey. Now, you have children.
Yeah, I do.
So this show is called Pokemon. If I were to paint my face yellow with yellow and red paint, and have a taser and call myself Pikachu, you would think I'm crazy.
I would think that you need some help. Yeah, I wouldn't say you were crazy per se, but I would say that you probably need some attention. By the way, let me shout out Malika. Malika, welcome to the broadcast. Happy Hump Day to you. Go ahead, Cease.
And I start hitting people with tasers, say Pikachu. I need some help. And if you don't identify me as a Pokemon, you should get fined. No one's going to go for that. I'm sorry. So if I know you carry a Y chromosome, but you want to be identified as a woman, now, disclaimer, whatever you are, whatever you want to be, that's cool.
That's your business. I have no problem.
That's your business. However, don't try to convert me into your way of thinking.
Facts.
Because it's not going to work, and all you're going to do is anger me. So that's why, and even in my profession, I deal with a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll get mad. I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, okay, well, that's what you want to be called. Because I would never refer to them as the gender that they want to be called. I always I address them by the name.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is that I don't have any problem personally with a motherfucker identifying as a goddamn My Little Pony if that's what they want to do. You got people out there who call themselves bronies, right? Who dress up like My Little Pony characters. That's cool. That's their business. God bless her for America. You could do whatever the fuck you want. As long as you're not hurting nobody else, it's all good. But I do have a problem with opening up public facilities where I send my daughters, where I send my wives, where I send my mother, and some man's in there. I'm sorry, but if you still got the twig and berries, that's not my problem. If you ain't saved up for enough for your reassignment surgery or whatever it is that they call it, that ain't got shit to do with me. If you still got the twig and berries, I don't want you in the same facilities with my females. Call me crazy.
Now,
I'm not with that.
Speaking of that, my brother in Cali, I think we talked about this behind the scenes, he's in Cali. He showed me a picture with of the transgender bathrooms, men and women. I'm like, I don't want. I got nieces. You know what I mean? I got little cousins. I got a fiance. I don't want to say. I don't want no man. Sorry, excuse me.
No,
I want.
you keep it a buck until
I am.
they do. Look, when I think of transgender, like I said, I stick with the science because I understand that they've got a diagnosis in the DSM-5 for gender dysphoria disorder and so on and
Well,
so forth, right? And one of the treatments for that ultimately is gender reassignment surgery. If you have
and
had
I
your
got that book.
if you've had your gender reassignment surgery and you now are
Cool.
the bearer of a new pair of female looking parts, hats off to you, right? But if
Eh,
you
eh,
still packing what I'm packing, you don't get to walk up in a bathroom or a restroom with females, biological females, just because today you feel like a woman. I don't give a fuck if you feel like a natural woman. I'm not with that shit. And see, enough of us need to start telling it true. We need to stop. We need to stop acting like that we somehow or another are wrong for wanting to demand a standard, right? A normality. Here's the thing. I have no problem with people engaging or doing whatever the fuck it is that they want. That's their business, right? Because I'm not religious. I
Agreed.
don't have no religious scruples or anything like that preventing a motherfucker from dressing up like a Pikachu. Okay? That's your business. The problem comes in is, see, one thing I learned being on the so-called right of the political spectrum here in the United States for a while is that on the right side, like the libertarian right, they say,
Yeah.
my right to act ends where your right to act begins. In other words, I have a right to act and do whatever I like up to the point where it hinders your right to act and do what you like. Yeah, I got a real fucking problem with biological males who still pack equipment. Now, they're not females. And I don't believe that you should be obligated legally by legal sanction to refer to them as such. That said, should you choose to do so, that's your business. Should you choose not to do so, they don't have to like it. But that's not discrimination, right? Nobody's telling trans people that they can't have a place to live, that they can't eat. I'm talking about in the main. There is discrimination in
Yeah.
America for every damn thing anybody can be, right? It doesn't matter what you are. If you white, there's people that'll discriminate against you because you white. I'm not saying that happens
Hmm.
all that often, but I'm saying that if whatever you are, somebody can discriminate against you for it. Starman and Golden Dinar, shout out to y'all. Welcome to the broadcast, fam. So there's always going to be discrimination. That
Of course.
being
Listen.
said, what we're against is systematic institutional discrimination. And the problem is they're trying to equate their individual discrimination to a systematic thing that does not exist. If you stay your ass out of places that don't belong to you as a trans person, then you have no problem for most Americans. There will be some who discriminate against you because they don't like your choice or what what you've done. That's not right, but it's the truth. And that's something that you can always struggle against, right? You can always be advocating against. But the fact is that biology is biology, period. And trying to propagandize us into thinking that somehow or another gender identification trumps biology when biology is the norm, fuck you. There's a norm for a reason. And I don't want to hear this. Well, what is normal? Normal is males having penises and balls and females having breasts and vaginas. That's normal. I don't want to hear this shit about, oh, well, what is normal? I can be anything I want. Sure, you can be, but there are consequences and repercussions for you choosing to be whatever it is that you want to be. And you have to be willing to face those. One of the things I learned, fam, as an adult was that what makes you an adult is the ability to act, to choose, and the right and the responsibility to accept both the benefits and the detriments of said choice. That is what makes you an adult, which is why I got a fucking problem with them talking about trans kids and shit. When I was a kid, man, I played with my sister's easy bake oven and shit like that. Does that mean that I'm a female? No, that means that I was interested in learning how to cook and I like making the brownies and the shit. You feel me?
Facts.
That doesn't mean, like, I played with my sister and the little Barbie dolls and stuff and jump double Dutch jump rope and all of that. Does it mean I was gay? No, that means that I enjoyed jumping with a fucking jump rope. I also climbed trees and had BB gun fights. So what the fuck?
Hey, just to let you know, as a kid, I enjoyed hula hooping and having Roman candle fights. Just throwing it out there.
I'm with that.
Okay.
I hula hoop my ass off. I wasn't real good at it because, you know, for as big as I am, I don't have like hips like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
But I enjoyed hula hooping. Did that mean that I was now supposed to be a girl? That I was supposed to? No. So all this propagandizing to try to get children to see something that is obviously, and when I say abnormal, it just means that it's not the norm. It doesn't mean that there's any damn pejorative that comes along with that. But trying to get my children to see something that is a minority view, abnormal, not the standard, to be the standard, every thinking rational human being should have a fucking problem with that. I don't have nothing against my trans black ADOS folk. If that's what you want to be, I support you in your aims. But you got to understand that there are consequences and ramifications to that choice that you made. And yes, it is a choice. You can say you were born that way. Maybe you might have been born with the inclination. Okay, fine. What else? Okay, I'm not going to argue the point. So if you're choosing now to live with whatever it is that you're born with, understand that you are the aberration. You are the one that stands outside the normative. This ain't got nothing to do with us. I don't give a fuck about advocating for LGBTQI plus whatever. I don't care. I'm advocating for ADOS, period. And I'm not going to have their advocacy tied to ours because they don't share our unique and distinct heritage, lineage, and issues that we faced in this country. Fuck that. That's whatever they do in the privacy of their bedroom or whatever's between their legs when they got clothes on ain't none of my motherfucking business. I don't care. But in public environments, you got to understand, I, as a biological cisgendered male, don't want trans males or trans females or whatever in the same environment and bathrooms and shit with biological cisgendered females. Period. I'm never going to support that. I don't give a fuck how much propaganda they try to lay down to make it the norm. Damn all that. Have a third bathroom. Have male's bathroom here, female's bathroom here, and unisex bathroom there. So anybody who want to go into the unisex bathroom and do their own goddamn thing, go right the fuck ahead. I don't care. Does it cost businesses more money? Yep. But if they want trans people's money, they'll make that happen. Otherwise, they won't.
Well, Mr. Black, I'm hearing the passion in your voice, but right now I'm about to make you more passionate. And I saw something that made me really passionate when I saw drag queens reading to little kindergartners, hugging them. It sent me into such a passionate rage because now you're giving the kids, you're indoctrinating the kids early, you're not giving them a choice. When I was 10 years old, I was thinking about playing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and pizza and video games, Super Mario Brothers. I wasn't thinking about sex.
Facts.
That came way later in life for me.
Yep.
But now I'm seeing something, and I get enraged by this. My brother in Cali and other people like me understand this. When I see 11-year-old trans stripper.
A what?
You're 11. Oh, you don't know the story?
Wait, a what?
Oh. Okay,
an 11-year-old trans what?
Stripper. Dancer. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, no, I did see that. Yeah, okay. Shit.
Yeah, okay. So I don't want, thanks.
Yeah, I did see that
story
shit.
Again. And I'm thinking, wow, you're 11 years old. People throw money at you. See, and this was coming next.
Wait,
Cease,
pause. Because you remember back in the day when us heterosexual, toxic, masculine black males was saying that we really ain't with this gay shit or whatever the case may be, because it seemed like that it's a route into pedophilia and hebephilia and shit like that. You remember we were saying that, and they kept telling us, nah, just because you gay and or lesbian or whatever the case may be doesn't mean you like children and this, that, and the third, right? You remember that bullshit that they used to come back at us with, right?
Most
Now,
def.
what we seeing is that the very damn thing that we all called was going to be a possibility. Because think about it. If sexuality becomes such an important part of human existence that you make it a choice that even children have, right? Then who's to say that somebody can't come then and say, well, we made love, but the child decided that that's what they wanted with me. I made sure to get consent. How the fuck do you determine whether or not that's the truth? Now the law
Oh, by the
says,
way, hold on,
go ahead, fam.
hold on. I'll let you finish. What that one guy that was petitioning for pedophilia?
Yeah,
That love is love.
yeah. Nambla.
And,
Remember
yeah, I
Nambla?
forgot the guy's name. Yeah, there we go. And how about that? You see, here's the thing. Here's the next letter with the alphabet people. P. No, as in pansexual. That's what pansexual means you love anybody.
Yep.
And in low key we know what pansexual is.
Yep.
Another word for pedophilia. And that's in the LGBT whatever.
Why do you think they keep adding letters to it? LGBTQIA plus. That plus is so wide open, fam, that you gotta keep your eye open. You see what I'm saying? To see what they trying to shuffle into that little box, right? They want you to get caught up in the acronym, but remember that acronym represents very small numbers of Americans. Explain to me this. Everybody tries to tell ADOS that is around 12, 13% of the population that we have no political power. They just can't do anything for us politically, right? Talking about us as a political time bomb. Yet LGBTQIA plus, if they are 4%, of the population, I'm damned. But yet everybody's bending over backwards to provide them with political advocacy and support. ADOS people, you better wake the fuck up.
Of course. You know why that is.
You better wake the hell up.
You know why that is, and that's why a lot of our movements got co-opted because of them. Can you say Black Lives Matter, people?
Feminists, white feminists co-opted Black struggle. LGBTQIA co-opted Black struggle. And here's the thing. To all my LGBTQ people out there, my ADOS LGBT community, understand this. I got nothing but love for you. I don't want to see you hurt. I don't want to see you having to struggle. I don't want to see you having to be in no bad place. Wherever I ride, I'm riding not just for me, but for you. But understand this. There is always, because male and female is the standard. It's the norm. You don't have to like that. You don't have to agree. But we all do, and we the majority. Sorry, numbers count in this damn thing. So if you're going to live your truth, live your way, live your life, understand that there will be limits to how you're able to express that as a part of the greater community. We don't want to keep you from who you love. We don't want to keep you from having your families. We don't want to hinder you from nothing, the good of what life has to bring you. But you don't get to throw that up in our face like we owe you something. We owe you what we owe all of our tribes people. No more and no less. That's it. Your shit is no different than religious ADOS people, atheist ADOS people like myself. I get pushback from my people because I don't believe in God. But you know what? I take that as a cost of doing business, right? It don't bother me. My people are believers. They believe in God and gods. And that's all right. I accept them. I say peace, namaste, shalom, shalom, salawam. I honor them and recognize where they are. It's all fucking good. But understand, your lifestyle choice is going to come with ramifications. We will back your play to the point where we're trying to protect your life and your survival. But we can't guarantee that people ain't going to want to have nothing to do with you because of what choice you make. We can't even guarantee that for all of us as ADOS. Even when we win this struggle, we win this fight, we're not going to make America like us, but we can make America get the fuck off our backs. So that.
Oh, Mark.
Go ahead, fam.
Something else I noticed also, the more stronger the ADOS gets, the more they try to discredit and stomp it out.
Yeah, that's facts.
I saw that with the Revolt Summit that Mincho Shro.
Oh God.
Yeah. See, I want to talk to you about this on Discord, but I was like, I don't know how to approach this subject because I was like, I had to watch it like 5 different times because it was hard for me to digest, especially when they did the Q&A. I'm like, I can't take none of those guys seriously. Now this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna speak how I feel personally.
Speak your piece, fam.
When Candace Owens was talking about immigration, that is the one subject I agree with her on. And T.I. was trying to stomp her out, and everybody was, cheer him on. I'm like, wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute. When do you become the political? Entertainers are not leaders. I'm sorry, that's the way I feel. Killer Mike, T.I., Puff Daddy, you guys are entertainers.
Yep.
You've been bought and paid for. I'm sorry, I can't take you seriously. So all that bug dancing that they were doing and tap dancing, I was like, the one person I thought I never would agree with on one particular subject on immigration, I agree with, and they wouldn't let her talk.
Facts. Marshall, thank you, fam. I appreciate it.
And just to let you know, I am not a Candace Owens fan at all because she does a lot of bug dancing.
But right is right.
Yeah, but I've learned to eat the meat, spit out the bone.
Facts.
I'm not conservative. I'm not liberal. I'm down the middle.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not conservative. I'm not liberal. I'm ADOS. I'm for whatever benefits
Facts.
My people. Period.
Facts. And no matter what you is, but when I saw the Revolt Summit, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it. And Jay Morrison also. What the hell?
This nigga here, man. Look, I can't with Jay Morrison.
Listen, when he did that damn video about, we don't have a nationality, I was about to say, wait a minute. We do have a nationality. We're American.
You know what? Jay Morrison is so stupid. I don't even think he understands how stupid he really is. Like, he was sitting there talking about how he do this shit in real life. I have to question what type of life he got. Because, fam, last time I checked, okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but last time I checked, my nationality is American. United States citizen. That's my nationality. I have a nationality. I got a flag. Mm-hmm. It happens to have, 13 bars on it, red and white. It's got a blue patch with some white stars on that shit, about 50 of them joints. And it waves in the breeze and shit. I got a flag. I got a nationality. I don't need to have no plebiscite about that.
And here's the bad part, okay? During the Tuskegee experiment, them guys got paid like $1.4 million, okay, for what they went through.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, granted, huh?
It should have been more, but yeah.
It should have been more. I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, I hear you, Fam. I'm with you. I was just interjecting. Go ahead, Fam.
No, but I hear Jay Morrison and other people talking about, well, we have an N-Cobra. N-Cobra was just a shill to keep us placated. I never heard of N-Cobra to Yvette Cardell and Tone Talks came out.
Now, I've been involved in politics for a while, so I have heard of N-Cobra back like in the 90s, way back when we were all on that back to Africa shit. You feel me? Right. But they wasn't doing around for years. They wasn't doing nothing. Apparently.
They weren't doing nothing. So now all of the ADOS come out. Now you got the foreign-born blacks that like Julian Reed talking about, well, you should listen to these guys. So it tells me that ADOS is getting stronger, and you can't afford to let up.
No.
You got to keep your foot on their necks and don't let up an inch.
That's right.
So Big Bird comes out, or Mark, whatever his name was, with the Yo Daishiki. Big Bird comes out,
Yeah, Mark
and all
Thompson.
of a sudden, whatever, Big Bird, he had a Yo Daishiki also. So now I'm like, oh, okay, so you guys come out and you want to co-opt the movement. I started Revolt Summit. And now everybody will talk about, well, we do have a movement. We have ADOS. Nobody will talk about that. Jay Morrison knows that. Killer Mike knows that. Everybody knows it.
Yep. Let me
but they
holler at
won't
you something.
talk about it.
Let me holler at you real quick, though, about something, Cease. Because you use
Go
the
ahead.
term that I don't like to use. And it's not I'm not jumping on you. Not at all, fam.
Go ahead.
Not at all. But I'm hoping to educate us both, right? So this is a teaching moment. You use the word movement. I take umbrage with that word for only one reason. ADOS, as I understand it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, okay? But ADOS is not a movement. A movement is temporal, right? It's built around a specific issue and it's temporal. ADOS is the understanding that we, as the American descendants of slavery, share a distinct heritage, lineage, and a specific claim against our government, right? That is set in a time frame, right, between 1619 and 2019. But as a movement, that's not really a movement. I see it more as an ethnicity or a tribal affiliation more than I do a movement. And the reason why I'm bringing that up, fam, is simply this. Movements can be co-opted, right? This is true. We have seen many of our movements shunted off, exiled, assassinated, co-opted. The difference with ADOS is that the thing that makes us ADOS, they can't kill. You can't kill my ancestors. They're dead already, right? My ancestors is beyond the reach of the United States government, unless they came up with some technology to be able to kill dead people, right? My ancestry, my lineage, they can't destroy. They can't kill that because it is already set in stone. I come from who I come from. The debt that's owed to me is a debt that's owed to me due to whom I come from. You can't kill that. You can't co-opt that, right? Mark Thompson with his yellow ass dashiki, you know what I'm saying? Roly Poly Martin, Joyanne Lomena, you know what I'm saying? All the rest of these talking heads and these parrots in the pale stream media, they can't co-opt that because they don't share that. It is not their lineage. They can't. How is it that Mark Thompson and In Cobra can co-opt who I came from? They can't.
All right. Just say.
Go ahead, fam.
I apologize.
No. It's no need for apology. Like I said, you did not offend me. I wasn't upset. I simply take umbrage with the term because I don't think it's precise enough. I don't think it's clarifying enough to say movement. This is more along the lines of a transformational moment, right? Based around our understanding of our lineage, heritage, and our justice claim. That's how I define it.
All right. Let me rephrase that whole thing I just said. We have ADOS, which is lineage, which you can't fight lineage. All right, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But we have something. Okay, we have ADOS. But I know all those people at the Revolt Summit that knew about it, like Jay Morrison, Killer Mike, because even Killer Mike was like, "Well, you got to talk to Yvette and Tone." So you know about ADOS. But yet during that whole Revolt Summit, it was just like one big tap dancing show.
Yeah. But did you expect anything different?
No, listen, they're entertainers, not leaders. And people that are looking up to them, looking like, yeah, you're right. We don't have no nation. You are the dumbest mofos I've seen in my life. If you're born somewhere and it's all you know, you've never been outside the country, it's your nation. It's your nationality.
Facts.
All this stuff. Then here's the thing. What Jay Morrison said. Once he got corrected. Oh, I don't know. I listen to this, but I don't know. If you don't know, then get the hell out the way and leave it to the people that do know. Leave it to people
you
too.
couldn't have, I could not have said it better. Jay Morrison.
Leave it to the Tones. Leave it to the Yvettes. Leave it to the Mark Blacks. Leave it to the Sharon Darrity's. Leave it to Claude Andersons. People that do know. You don't know, get out the way.
Thank
and
you.
If you're not a thinking person, be a supporter of. Listen, I'm gonna lie to you. I don't know nothing about this really. I know enough to know, okay, they're doing something, I need to support it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a supporter of you, Mr. Black.
I appreciate that, fam. I do.
I'm a supporter of Tone Talks.
Yes, sir.
Yvette. If you don't know how to go out there and be boots on the ground like, like brothers like Real Spill and other people, support them monetarily. Support them with likes. Support them with shares. Support them by doing something.
Facts.
I know myself. Everybody can be a leader. Well, they can't be no leader without no followers or no support system. I know my place in life. My place in life is to be support. I've been doing it all my life.
I'm gonna tell you,
I'm good at it.
I'm not. When people say that I'm a leader in this, that floors me, man. What I consider myself is an inspirational teacher. I want to share with my family and my tribe the knowledge that I've gotten to understand and help us see correctly where it is we are in the United States of America and inspire us to greater and higher heights. I have no desire to be a leader or a boss of anything. What I desire is for all of us to embrace our lineage, embrace our heritage, fight for this justice claim, and reap the rewards of Americanness that has been ours from word say go. And if that happens, I would have lived my life and counted all good. That being said, but you're absolutely right. Not everybody is meant for what I do. Not everybody's meant for what Tone, Yvette, or the professor does, or anybody else, right? We all, this battle that we fight, this heated discussion that we got to have with the United States of America is such a broad battlefront, fam, that there's literally a place for everybody to get on board, to pick your spot, to get in where you fit in and do your best work, to live your best life in service to and for the benefit of your people, right? So I'm right there with you, fam. Jay Morrison, personal message to you. You probably never watch my broadcast. I don't watch yours. I just know of you in general. I used to watch your shit, your corner shows, or whatever the case may be. But bruh, I got some advice for you. Until you know better, shut the fuck up. Just keep your mouth shut and stick to real estate or whatever it is that you're doing today. Because, you're not helping and you're doing more harm than good by claiming you know something because Bubba Joe said it. Who the fuck is he anyway? I never even heard of that fool.
And by the way, Jay Morrison, you're Dominican. Let's be realistic, okay? So you have no idea. Everyone wants to be black until the police comes.
Yep.
So anyways, with that being said, sir, I will say this and I'll get off. I've been taking up a lot of your time. But if you guys don't know what's going on, stay the hell out the way. Learn something. If you don't want to learn, just stay out the way. Because this is not for you. And maybe I'm saying it because I'm tired of things being co-opted and being sabotaged, which is to be expected.
Yep. Let them come.
But no, you're right. Let them come. But see, ADOS is a shot. And it's the best shot we have.
Absolutely.
And we have to take it. Because if you don't take it, it's going to be worse, and that'll be it. Because let's be realistic, white supremacy is all but dead.
Absolutely. It sure in the hell is. It's on its dying legs right now.
And guess what? See, when they're focused on the wrong thing and this and that and the third, here comes China from the back, coming in the back way. And they can't stop it. And like I said, ADOS is the best shot. We all need to work together. Absolutely. Reparations is a tip of the spear.
That's right.
But it doesn't end with reparations.
That's right.
It's a tip. That's all it is. See, everybody's worried about the money and this and that, but you know what? They just the gay communities got money for their form of reparations. or a tax credit for marriage.
It's
And
our
they're a very
it's our
small
turn.
percentage.
It's our
Huh?
turn.
It's our turn. And guess what? It's our turn, and we can't let up.
Facts.
And Mark Black, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you're back.
I'm glad to be back,
Um,
fam.
I'm glad you're back, and I'll support you any way I can.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that
I
wholeheartedly.
I know you don't consider yourself to be a leader, but you are a nigga with a loud mouth and an opinion.
Hey, that's
And we
all
need
right.
niggas like
Them's the best. Them's
need-
the best type of niggas to be.
we need people. We need more people like you, and people like myself will stay in the background and support you any way they can.
Thank you, sir. And that is definitely appreciated, fam. Always a pleasure, brother Double C, man. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the
Likewise.
support and the good words, man. Don't be a stranger, fam.
Most steps, sir, and have a good night.
You too, sir. Thank you. Yeah, Axe, I noticed that the subs have been going up too, and I am beyond grateful. I think more ADOS voices need to be out here, right? Like, y'all know me. I say my job is to make more Mark Blacks, right? We need more of me. It ain't me, fam. It ain't me. Them subs, that's you, right? That is you. That is you saying, I choose to listen to a brother who provides education and inspiration. I choose to listen to a brother who has my best interest and my children's best interest and my children's children's best interest in his heart. I choose to listen to a brother who's not necessarily about entertainment, but who's about giving me the information I need. That's a choice that y'all are making. And all credit is due to all my subs. I got the best group of angry black sheep that anybody could ever have. And I'm beyond grateful for it. Fam, it's like 8:01 my time. We've been going at it since about 5. I know it's getting late. I know Yvette didn't broadcast tonight because she's preparing for the conference. Fam, this is our coming out. This is our coming out. It is our time to let this country know that the sleeper has awakened. It is time for us to get up here on this battlefront, pick our spot, stick our picket pin in the ground, and say here and no further. It is time to heed the call of the ancestors, to honor our lineage, to continue to pay the blood price for this land, for this country, for this idea, for this nation. Don't let nobody tell you that you wrong, that you somehow trying to integrate into a country that's not yours. This is your country. Everybody else needs to figure out a way to integrate into it in a way that includes you, not the other way around. And so with that, fam, be expecting to hear from your man Mark Black on Saturday, where we're going to discuss what was talked about during the ADOS conference. I've already picked up my ticket and will be listening to the ADOS conference live as it happens. We're going to have a discussion. I'm going to open up the lines. We're going to talk about it. Fam, I am glad to be back. Again, please watch the beginning part of this video because I talked about the health issues and things like that I've been facing that's kind of kept me from broadcasting when I want to broadcast, to give you guys some illumination, right? Some ideas of where your brother's at. Don't worry, I ain't dying no faster than the rest of you, but I do have some health struggles that I'm facing. I appreciate your well wishes. I appreciate your hearts, your minds, your eyeballs, and your time. I appreciate that you are my brother, my sister, and my fellow tribes people. And until the next time you hear from me, as always, I want to wish you all love, peace, prosperity, and power, real power to our people.